even though we're live.
Hello and happy Taco Tuesday, peeps.
Hey, hey,
Yes,
hey.
I had tacos yesterday.
I tried to have nachos today, but we were fresh out of nacho chips. I was like, how do we go from 10 bags to 0 bags in a day? I stopped
Well, you
buying
need
them
the
because we had so
chips.
many bags and now I don't have any. I'm like, really?
That's so funny. I'm trying to like remove all this junk that I have on my shelf here. See it? Like all that goddamn things I keep throwing in the hole here. Like I just keep setting shit up there. Like
I got my
whatever.
crafting closet behind me.
Wait. Did you get a queen? No.
Oh, he's been killing it though, huh? Good
He
job,
has.
Ed
I'm
Jet.
so proud of him. So proud.
And speaking of killing it, Napier's, I think, broke the bank down at Best Bet this
That's what
weekend.
I said. I looked at actually for a funny video clip that I could play whenever he came on with him and Stephanie entering the casino. Like we're
Right?
here. Because
Congrats,
in my
Keith.
mind,
What a
in my
great
mind,
run.
I knew what I was looking for, and I went through hundreds of videos. I said, "All right, I give up."
Well,
I was looking for like a fun clip.
Good job, bud.
thank you. Thank you. Let me let me try one. Let me try something here. Let's see how it
Okay,
sounds. Let's just see if you can hear it.
all right. I cannot see.
This is in honor of the Napiers killing it down at Best Bet Jacksonville.
I know. I'm like, they should have gave you like a party pack or something. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Pockets are full of $100 bills isn't a bad way to go.
That works.
This is what it felt like.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was looking for.
Hell yeah.
You got it, Keith.
I like it. I like it.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
You know what I found? That was the closest what I was looking for was Kramer walking in the room like sliding.
Yeah, that right
I
there.
saw my TikTok
Back
video
in the
when
black.
we were, yeah, when
All
we
right.
were at Little Kings and Queens. I played that song, and then Facebook banned the post because of the song in my own group. Like they fucking banned it. I was pissed. I said, "Are you kidding me?" So they took it down.
Well, I
And I
played
was,
that from YouTube.
yeah, that's just such bullshit. But they're up against competition with TikTok, so I can't
Yeah,
blame
and
them.
they're
You know
losing.
what I mean?
And they're
Yeah,
losing. They're
they
losing.
are. I know, cause you know what? I love TikTok.
Me too.
I do. I love it.
Yeah, I love Tiki Talk.
Hmm.
Now, Keith, tell us about your final table in Jacksonville.
Oh, wait a second. I
Because
got
you were one of the chip leaders, weren't you, going into it or what?
no shit.
No? Okay. I mean, I was just trying
Nowhere
to judge from
near.
your pictures. Okay.
Yeah, but you got to remember there was a guy at the table that had almost 3 million in chips.
Yeah, but we don't know that. I mean, I was
Oh,
just
okay.
looking at your stat. You know what I mean?
Well, anyways, I got to tell you about this hand. Um, we are on the. We'd already agreed to pay the bubble. Okay, so there was no stopping the clock. Hand for hand
right.
bullshit. So it would been it. This was the stone cold bubble because we agreed to pay after this guy went out. We agreed to pay the bubble.
Right.
I had 70,500 chips.
Okay.
I'm on the button. I look down. I'm comfortable chip stack,
Okay.
real comfortable. Um, and I I look down. I'm on the button. It folds around to me. I look down. I got Ace King of Hearts. I said, okay. I just got the small
And
blind and the big blind.
yeah,
I said, I'm all in. I have both of them covered, but the big blind I've only got covered by 500 chips.
Oh God.
Small blind snap folds. Big blind sits there and tanks, and I'm thinking, oh shit. Give me an ace or king, ace or king, ace or king, ace or king. Because I knew he didn't have aces or kings because he'd be snap calling.
It could have been a pocket queens or pocket jacks, my favorite.
Yeah, but that's why I was praying for ace or king, ace or
Right.
king, ace or king.
Right.
And he says, "I'll hell with it." I call.
Oh no.
He flips over ace king of clubs.
Oh,
I'm like, nice hand, man. I guess I said, chop it up. Flop comes out. Eight of spades, queen of hearts, jack of hearts. Oh, look out, hearts. Look out, flush. Nine of spades on the turn.
Oh, I just got beat by trip tens. I had trip fours. Or set over set. Good game. Good
wow.
game. Odd jobs.
Wow, good game.
I stand up
Good hand, bud.
because
Sorry.
when he said hell with it, I call. What the heck I call, and he's already standing up. So when that nine of spades comes out on the turn, I stand up to give him a fist pump, right? And as I'm giving him the fist pump, saying "nice hand," the 10 of hearts drops out on the river and gives me a royal.
Oh wow.
Wow.
You are the royal king of best bet.
Hey,
I
Chas.
felt, I was like, holy shit. I couldn't even celebrate my royal in my royal fashion.
You couldn't say who's your daddy.
No, I couldn't because I was like, I just took this guy out of a tournament, you know?
Right. Yeah.
I,
Good manners.
yeah, everybody was
Good
like,
manners. Good manners. Good ethics.
yeah, I did do good. I was like, oh shit, man. Good game, buddy. I thought we was chopping. I really did. And that's the way I handled it.
Oh,
And I sat back down and I
yeah.
stacked all my chips, and then I had a
Nice
good
job,
amount of
bud.
chips.
Hey, Chuck. We're just talking about Keith's success down at Best Bet this past weekend.
That's awesome. That getting a royal is a lot of fun. First time I've had two of them. One I was really short stacked, so it didn't make much difference. The first one I looked at my hand and I went, "Wow, I got a straight. Oh, wait a minute, I have a flush. Oh, wait, whoa."
You sound like me, and then I go, oh,
Yeah, I mean it literally
yeah.
took like 5 to 8 seconds, and I'm pretty fast, but on that one it was, because you're not expecting it, so you're, wow, got a straight. That's good, and a flush. Oh, good, that's even better. It's like, oh.
That's number 5 live,
No way.
and I've had 8 total.
Wow.
I've
See,
only
I
had
don't-
2.
I can't remember. Like,
I've only had 2.
just really cannot. Like, I'm not even joking.
But never like in cash or big tournaments. One was at bar poker and the other was at a home league
I'm
game.
sure I've had one online and don't I'm just on to the next stand.
I've had
Yeah,
2 in
yeah.
cash. One Sherry was a witness to.
It was amazing.
One was probably 6.5, 7 years before that. I had 2 in one day, one in a tournament, one in cash. Dealt by
God,
the
what are
same
the
dealer.
odds of that?
Dealt by the same dealer with the same 2 hole cards, ace 10 of hearts.
Wow.
Same
Worst
dealer,
one,
same day.
worst when I
Good.
saw a guy flopped it. He was a young kid and they flopped it. So he's got the royal flush, So guy bets, he checks, the guy bets, and he raises him. I almost killed him. Right there. I was like, you don't, because I knew the other player, and the other player was good for another bet, and it was like, never.
Right?
You can't lose, it's like,
Right? You're checking the nuts, calling the nuts.
And then Saturday, we went down to Lisa's on Saturday. And so after we left the dispensary, we went over to Orange Park, Best Bet Orange Park. Fourth hand, I get dealt ace king. And I'm on the button. I make it 15 to go. We're playing 2-2. I get re-raised. I call. Flop comes out. King, king, blank. I don't even remember what the other card was, but I thought, well, top trips with a top kicker, man. I ain't going nowhere. And then he bet. Okay, I call. Turn, ace.
Nice.
He bets, I call.
Oh God, you really needed a better turn card there, Keith.
I do remember the river being a 6, and he bet. I repopped him. He folded. I flipped over my hand. I said, high hand. King's full of aces. And that was within the first half hour. So that was a $400 high hand plus about 375, 400 in the pot.
Nice.
So
Nice.
we between me and Steph, we cashed out for 9 something Saturday night. Saturday night.
Sweet.
And then almost 5 Sunday.
That's awesome. Tell us about your final table, bud.
It was interesting to say the least. There was this one guy. We, of course, the 2 chip leaders. I mean, they had 3 million apiece, something like that.
And you know what? Before you go any further, I'm going to also say congrats to Scotty, who plays our Flophouse game, because
Lugnut.
Lugnuts came in third. So good job, Scotty.
He's like one. Scott is a good guy, man. He is.
He is. And so is his wife, as a sweetheart.
Yep, sure is. So well, I'll tell you a hand that I doubled up through Scott, because even though I'd gotten a lot of chips there when I got that royal, of course, I had this one guy that was just kept hammering my big blind. Everybody folding. I have 7 deuce. I am not calling his all in. Even though he's in the small blind, I know what he's doing. I just ain't going to call
but
it
you
all
can't
off.
waste chips on that.
So
and the blinds and Annie are so darn high.
Yeah. So I got down. I was pretty short stacked, and I had ace queen, and Scott had raised under the gun, and I was next to act, and I was like, damn. What am I going to do? Wait for pocket aces? And this is what I was going through my head. And I said, if I'm going to give my chips to anybody, by God, I'm going to give them to you. And I said, I'm all in. The rest of the table folds, gets Scott. And he says, well, if I'm going to double anybody up at this table, it's going to be you. I call. He flips
awesome.
over deuces.
I'm sure the rest of the table didn't appreciate those comments.
I don't care. I don't.
I
really.
I know you don't. I just think it's funny.
But he turns over to pocket deuces, and I've got ace queen. I hit a queen on the turn, so that doubles me up.
Nice.
Oh, that's good.
So
nice.
after he doubles me up, I take a guy that's to my right out. And now I've got a pretty good chip stacks. Now I'm third in chips. Scott's
awesome.
Fourth in chips, and then there's one more other guy. And this guy was the one that was at the table, before at the table before we went to the final table, where you just started eating my chips. He said, "Wow, I can't believe you shoved all in with that ace queen." He goes, "I seen you fold ace queen bunches to a raise and a re-raise." I was like, there's a big difference in pushing and call it. I'm not going to call off my whole stack for my whole tournament life with ace queen. I ain't going to do it. Not real early in the game. I won't even call it off with jacks. And He goes, yeah, I know. That's why we've been picking on you. That's why we just been kind. I was like, yeah. And guess what? How many of them people are still here? You are. Yeah, you are. Because I've kept you in this game. And he said, I'm all in. I looked, I got Pocket Kings. I said, I call. I got his 9. I think he had 9-5, 9-6, something like that offsuit.
Good job, bud.
Yeah.
Good job.
I was like, And then
Sniper. Hey, sniper. You picked him right off.
Yeah. So I took the last 2 people out. They got us down to 4-handed. And so sitting there going back and forth, just folding, raising, folding, whatever. I get in a pot where I check, and I have a king 7. I'm in the big blind. I say check. Flop comes out 9-7 king. I bet the chip leader shoves on me. I got top 2 pair. Well, not top 2, but top and bottom. I call. He turns over 8-9. Turns to 9. So
Good run, bud. Good run. Good job.
And then Scott hung in there for about another 45 minutes.
I was going to say it was a while because then I was thinking maybe you were driving back, and that's why we didn't get no update on the post. And I'm like, well, maybe.
No, sit there and watch.
Okay. I knew it was a while because, like I said, we didn't hear anything, and I figured I'd just wait to talk to you to see what he took. So, Chuck, how's your poker been?
It's been good. I've been primarily playing cash and doing very well. I started playing it what I call seriously beginning of February. What happened was I was playing tournaments, and last year I played 154 tournaments. Okay, and then this year, I was looking at stuff, and it's hard to make money in tournaments because you just not only have to get cash, but I cashed like 17% last year, which anyway. But I didn't like my attitude because I was too concerned about just getting in the money and things like this. So anyway, so January come out, look at my record afterwards, like, no, I'm losing money. So I'm going to try to play cash. So I start playing cash. I did great in February, just great. Okay.
Awesome.
I continue to play cash, and Lucky's, which they have a free roll tournament on Saturdays. So I always get these invites, and it's like I wanted to show my face because they, did a charity event, and it's like nice to just show up. So it was a weird day because it was just one of those days that things are going to go in your direction. Okay, doesn't matter what you do, So I was going to go to the National Speakers Association meeting. I was thinking about it, and I dragged my feet. I almost always go, right? And it was on Saturday. It was like $55, no big deal. And I just didn't feel the mojo. So I said, well, what am I going to do? I'll go play cash. So I go play cash in the lodge for 2 hours. I'm up $200, right? So what am I going to do with the rest of my day? Well, I'll go to Lucky's, So I go out there and I buy in for, not just the minimum, but one rebuy. It's a free roll, right? So I've got $70, with all because it's special one-day guest and all this stuff. So I'm happy with that. I'll just play. And again, it's just, for relations, because I don't expect nothing. I get to a hand, I got 92,000. We got, I don't know. There was like, the pot was like 25 or 30,000. I have a jack, and our pocket jacks. Jack 9-2 hits the flop. So of course I check, right? Because I got the current nuts. The next guy checks. Third guy, and there's a bonus question here in just a second, folks. Okay, so third guy makes a bet of about, I don't know, 30,000. So it's half my stack. It's wonderful. So I go under a little bit of Hollywood and I customize, It's like it depends upon the person, their experience level, what I've seen and everything. And I do it just about the right time. So I shove. Snap call on my left. What's he got?
He's got a set too.
Right. He's got pocket nines. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So the third guy is like, what the heck was that? And so he turns over, which he can't do, but he did it anyway. He turned over pocket aces.
Oh
and he didn't know what
wow.
the hell to do. You know, he was pretty experienced. I could tell he was experienced,
Jeez.
that stuff like that. So he
Yeah, but that's
finally,
rough when you see that.
what's that?
I said that's always harsh when you see that when you're holding aces. You
Well,
don't want to
it
see
is,
that.
but he's not supposed to show his hand. He was trying to get some emotion, you know. And of course, I kind of was hoping it'd call, you know, because he's only got a few outs. But you know, there's anyway. He ends up calling. The other guy turns over nines. I turn over jacks. They hold up. I'm now chip leader at the table.
Nice.
Wake up an hour and a half later. We're at the final table. Pays 5 things, $6,500 in the pot.
Nice.
So I'm like, and my reputation is really good around the city. So I say, look, why don't we give? And I'm like third in chips, so I'm not hurting or anything like that. But it's like I like to do this. It's good relations. It's good mojo. All this stuff. I says, how about if we paid $200 for the last 4 pages, and it guarantees me I'm happy, right? You know, I mean,
Right.
I'm going home with more money than I came in with, and you know,
Win-win.
yeah, I'm going. So everybody agrees to that. So one of the guys, let's just say he's with the libations a little bit. Okay, we get down to 4 people. Let's chop. You know, I mean, $4,000 ain't bad, right? You know, it's not bad. You know, $1,000 a pop. No, don't want to. One guy's no, don't want to chop. You know, because he's got a big stack. It's like, okay, you know, you really want to do this, and so then we get finally this one guy that thought he was going to win, and oh, when we did the chop, he only won $100 off the top, which ends up helping me later, which you figured out with that one, right? So he gets, you know, because they're so worried about a few cents, you know, it's ridiculous, right? So I'm like whatever, and so we get down to 4 people, and one guy gets knocked out. The other guy who's been drinking, so I try to negotiate. Must have been 3 times, maybe 4. And the last negotiation was when there's 3 of us, and there was one girl, and she'd done really well, but she was a bit. Let's just say she felt a bit out of her league. At least that's my impression, because I got to the point where okay, I'm playing poker, glasses on, serious. And then one guy looked at me and says, well, you seem like you're awful serious. It's like you're pushing me in the corner here, because he said his last deal was, I'll take 2,500. You can take second, and she takes third, right? Well, 2,500 was first place within a couple bucks. No, that don't work. I don't care if you got 3 times as many chips. Sure enough, hit the right hands, ace king against ace 8. You never saw it coming. I don't know, a couple other hands, and I doubled up, and he was out of the tournament. And I'm walking home going, I tried to help everybody. Tried to be the nicest guy in the world.
Right?
I'm walking home with almost
You got it.
2,500 bucks.
Yep.
This has been a good day.
Yep.
That's awesome. Good
But it
for
was,
you,
I
Chuck.
would say,
I
I
love
have
when
never
karma
tried
turns
so
around
hard
against those
to be a
people.
really nice guy and help
Yep.
everybody. And I end up, getting the great mojo, and again, I wasn't even, ordinarily I wouldn't have even been there, because if I'd gone to the meeting, it would have gone to 12. I might have gone, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It
Right.
just
Right.
would have been a different mojo. I'd sit in a different seat. Who knows what would happen?
That's awesome. Good for you, Chuck.
So it was funny. So the cash is still going good. It's not going as good this month as last, but I'm still working. I'm working out the kinks. But
And did you play many tournaments at all with the Madness Mayhem?
I did not. Now this weekend, I probably want to play in the. They got one of the big tournaments, and I kind of want to play in that one. Oh, and then I played last Thursday night, by the way, and I just went in with one buy-in, and the cash game. I think I'm a little bit different than most people. The cash game really helps me, because in the cash game they bet 12 to 20, right? And so when I go to the tournaments and they bet 3 to 1, it just seems like a small bet. So I'm staying in hands that I definitely need to be staying in. I know it's one of my, if you want to be leaks, and it's a personal leak, but you've got to be in the hands. And when I played last Thursday, I ended up 16th out of 74. And this is only one buy-in. The average buy-in was like 6 or 7, right? On this free roll.
Right.
So
Good
I'm
for
looking
you, Chuck.
in a regular tournament, but I think the cash game is beneficial. I'm enjoying it, and I get into great conversations with people, things like that. So the cash is really going good. But
Awesome.
I want to play tournaments. I want to be very sparingly on the tournaments. The art of poker, because the art of poker is one of the $200 plus, plus your buy-in and stuff like that too. and they can rebuy. But what I like about it also is if I do cash in that one, that does go on Hen and Mob, you know. So so anyway, we'll see what happens. I'm thinking of playing it this weekend, but
Well, good
it'll
luck if you do.
yeah. So just play my best, and again the cash is because when you're sitting there in cash and every time bet's 12 or 15, and then you go in the tournament and it's like 3 to 2.5 or 3, it's like I should be in hand, so I don't question it, and it's a subtle thing with me, but it makes a difference. It really does.
Yeah, that chip stack keeps going down instead of up. It makes a big difference.
It does. So you got to be ready to put it out there. So.
Well, I play cash in order to be able to play tournaments.
Yeah.
I can't play a tournament.
Yeah. And I never want to play cash. Like it aggravates the hell out of me. Like,
Yeah, I do both too.
I'm a tournament player. Just tournaments.
Well, what happened with me last year is I played vast majority of tournaments. I played a little bit of cash. Let me see how much I played. But what happened was in the cash, let me pull up the thing. Yeah, what happened in the cash is I played about 80 hours, and I was just trying stuff out, and I ended up I don't even know if I'd call it profit, you know what I'm saying? But I was positive, and that's what paying for my fees. And I went, look, I'm not even doing this seriously, and if I can break even without even trying, okay, really hard, because
right, you're beating your stats on your tournaments.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying, I mean, I like $60 out of 80. That means, but what got me was it was like I was just doing what everybody else was doing in cash, raising big and doing all that, and it was like that's not my style. My style is to sit back, wait. It's the second book. I said it exactly right. Know your equity, know what your risk assessment is. So when I can go in with a lot of equity, which they can't read my hand then because I'm not representing what I have, and then I get into it. A lot of these people, they have no idea what I have. Okay, and so if I hit big, it's just one more advantage because these pots, they get up big, they get up huge. And
the cash, I bet, because of who's in there now and sitting down at the table. Yeah.
I mean, this is one too.
Yeah, well, Doug Polk ain't sitting down at a 1-2K.
Exactly. Like you're talking.
He's funny. I watched him walk in the other day, and he, I could just tell he's one of the players by the way he walked in, because he just walks in and he's just doing this. He's just scanning, and not knowing I'm observing, but it's just like you can tell he's just looking around, just seeing everything, and he's taking in. I mean, I do some of the same stuff. I'm not on his level, obviously, but I mean, I get it, where it's just he's taking in data. He's taking in data.
He's back, guys. I'll be right back.
Okay, Raquel.
I gotta get a hoodie.
Okay.
So Keith, I got one for you. Okay.
All right.
You'll like this one. So, and Sherry, I'm in this hand. I got pocket eights, ace eight, some other card hit, 2 clubs. I just remember that, and I think I bet the guy bets an ace hits on the turn, and I put him on an ace with a small kicker. I didn't think he'd hit. So there's a significant money in the pot, and it was already a couple $100. So I shoved. Guy, calls me, and I was absolutely correct. He had an ace with a small kicker. He's got 4 outs. Ace hits the river. But it was the first time that big a pot, like it must have been, because we may have had a couple other people in the pot, but it must have been, because it wasn't all my stack. I had like 500 and it was 300 in my stack. So it had to be like 750 in the pot. But the thing is, what's different is when I lost, I was perfectly fine with it because I knew I went in with a 92% average. I read it exactly.
When you're making the right moves and it's just variance on that river, you just got to pat yourself and keep moving.
Oh yeah, and that was the thing is in the past, bad beat. It's like, no, it's 8%. I know exactly what it is. It's going to happen 1 out of 12 times. It happened. Get over it. You know what I'm saying? And go right back in. I mean, that was and that was a little bit of a turning point for me in a good direction. It's like, that's just a variance. Get over it. You know, I'm making my right reads.
Good for you.
So
You always learn when you got seat time.
Yep.
yep.
That's why I like playing cash, because I'm so nitty. The blinds don't ever go up. I don't care what stakes I play. You know, if I play 2-5, 5-10, the blinds never go up.
Right. And but a lot of people, there are so many people that gamble. They're there to gamble.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And then they get beat up, and then they get beat up again, and then they get beat up again, and then they get beat up, and then some of them get it where they quit gambling. You know, it's like, you know, because I just sit back, and Keith and you guys, you know, you just sit back and you wait, you know, and you just wait, and you just wait, and you wait until the right situation, and then bang, what the hell was that? You know, and I mean, I've done that like an hour and a half, you know, where I'm just in the background, and all of a sudden you're in this $300 or $400 pot, and everybody's going, what the hell's happened? You know, this person, you know, it's like, no, I'm waiting for that right, you know, hand and opportunity and position and situation and circumstances, and, you know, and then, yeah, we're going. We're gonna play poker, you know.
Yep.
I didn't hit mute. You probably heard me yelling and I was freezing.
No, I never.
Oh,
We
okay.
didn't hear you.
Okay, good. I was like, shit, I didn't even hit mute. I was yelling at the cat. I wasn't yelling at you. I was yelling at the cat.
What do you say? You always yell at me?
Yeah, I did not. I'm nothing but nice. Who believes that? Nobody.
I don't see anybody raising their hands, but
No, see? At least somebody got my back.
oh
Very
god,
nice.
that's
No,
hilarious.
I just all of a sudden I got chilly. I don't know if it's because I'm drinking iced coffee or what. Probably.
Probably.
I'm like, but no, it's starting to warm up here. We were like at 60 degrees today. So yeah,
Nice.
and deck season has officially begun. So Ed's just been so busy, like super busy with decks already.
That's awesome.
The calls are just like pouring in, you know.
That's the good news.
Yeah, so it was good. Like our shed doors because of the big the work, you know, we had a really bad storm and they were affected. Our shed doors. My she shed. My she shed is 30 years old and falling apart.
Hey, Rock. Ask
Yes.
Ed what kind of seeds those were that time.
Hey Ed, what kind of seeds were that time? I don't know what seeds we're talking about, but
Those ones that grow, you go from
Not the
the ones
Chinese
that,
ones.
not the Chinese ones, not my glorious flowers.
Oh,
I don't know.
uh
The ones that he grew?
yeah, that he
Yeah,
grows real fast.
it grew real fast. Autoflower.
Autoflower.
I'm like, I didn't know it was a super weed seed. We're learning lots, Peaches. He's growing Girl Scout cookies. That's what he's making.
Girl Scout cookie kush.
Like, oh my word.
oh, that's hilarious.
Snickerdoodle.
It's a good thing that I edited this and don't let children watch our show. He goes, what's wrong with Girl Scout cookies?
Nothing. Not
Nothing.
a thing. I don't eat them, but a lot of people.
I was
love
going to
'em.
say, yeah, I don't eat them. Like, I don't want to Girl
I used to
Scout
like
cookies.
the old fashioned when they had the old peanut butter ones were the only ones I ever ate.
I like the shortbreads. The
Yeah.
shortbreads with a little bit of sugar in the top.
Yeah, they're good, but honestly, I think it's probably been 20 years since I ate a Girl Scout
What's
cookie.
the cookies that come in the little bag?
I
They
don't
get
know.
many different flavors. They come in
Oh,
bags.
Pepperidge Farms.
Yes, the shortbreads, the chessmen are my absolute favorite. Oh my god.
Okay.
Like that could be like 2 cookies for breakfast with my coffee and I'm a happy, happy girl for the rest of the day. It just like
Yummy.
I know, I love them. I'll tell you a funny story one time. Okay. And this was hilarious because in our house, whatever you have, there was nothing with a name on it, like, "You don't touch this or that." If there's food in there, you go eat it.
Right.
Like,
Right.
that's just who we are. And I
Custom.
come home from work one day. What pretzels? My dad's pretzels? Yeah, go ahead.
No names on food over here.
No, well, that was a gift. That's a little different. Lord,
Oh
that
my
just
God.
blew up my story. Okay. So anyway, I come home from work one day and my son and my daughter stand in the driveway with their arms crossed, staring me down as I'm pulling in. I said, "Hey guys, what's up?" I was like, "Man," I said, "never had such a greeting after work." And they were like, "We need to talk." I said, "Uh-oh." I said, "What's going on?" They're like, "We're calling a family meeting like now." I was like, "All right." I'm thinking, shit, what did they do? It's school today,
Yeah, like
right?
who's pregnant?
And I mean, they were little preteens, so
Oh, okay, too
I
young.
was a
Okay.
little worried. And they goes, "Come on, let's go, get in here." And I said, "Get in there." And I sat down in the living room. My son stands up. He says, "I'll start the meeting." I said, "Okay." He goes, "Do you have anything that you would like to confess today?" I was like, "Oh, me?" Like that. And they go, "Yes, you." I go, and I had to think about my whole day from morning to,
Right?
to now. I said, "No, Dad." I said, "I'm sorry." I said, "Mommy went to work and I went to the bank and I filled up gas." I said, "I'm trying to remember like everything that I did." He goes, "No, let's try this again." I was like, "Okay." And my daughter's just sitting there, she's tapping her foot and she's pissed. And I was like, "What's going on, guys?" And Ed is not saying a word, just quiet as a little whistle. And my son, he pulls out from the pillow on the couch a bag of those Pepperidge Farm cookies. He goes, "Does this ring a bell?" I go, "Oh, you found them." Like that.
Oh, you had them hidden.
Well, I forgot that I had them hidden. And what I did, the ceiling, our entryway, the one I just redid.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there was a ceiling fan up there, and I had slid them onto the ceiling fan blade.
Oh
And it
my
was a
God, that's
joke because I
hilarious.
wanted to see if who could find them the fastest, right? It wasn't because I hid them from everybody. And they were so mad at me. "How dare you do this? What if we wanted cookies?"
That's
I
hilarious.
said, "You better check the expiration date because that was a while ago. I don't think you want to eat those." He said, "Oh, okay. So this is going to be your thing." And Brittany says, "She's not lying, Eddie. Read the date." And so they're reading a date. It was almost like 8 months or something,
Oh, you
months.
forgot they were up there too.
I had forgot. And they were so mad at me. I can't even begin. Like, they were mad. They were
What
just
a
really,
waste of
really mad.
cookies for Cal. Jeez, oh
Well, I
Pete.
just thought it would be funny if somebody put the fan on and they went. You know what I mean?
That's hilarious.
He's laughing. He doesn't remember, but they were pissed. They were so pissed at me. So speaking of food, he's gonna go eat my dad's birthday present. I bought
Uh-oh.
him chocolate covered pretzels, but it lasted like 4 days. It lasted 4 days in the house. But I will get him another one because that was on the phone when Keith joined, and I was talking to my sister, and we're supposed to have a surprise party for my parents this weekend. My brother's request, but he screwed it up. So
How'd he screw it up?
he forgot to tell his wife, and she has clients booked. She's a therapist.
Well, that's
And
not good.
no, so, and I said, "Well, we'll just have to reschedule. So whatever. It'll probably be the following weekend, the weekend after. So Ed could eat my dad's pretzels.
Yep.
I'll just get him another one.
Otherwise, they'll go bad.
They were actually fine in the package. Welcome
I'm
Dad.
trying to help Ed out here.
And I had stuck them in the box. And he spotted them. He goes, "You better hide them better than that." I didn't think you'd see them in the box.
Oh, that's funny.
Because I have stuff for my nieces and nephew that I have put in the box for them. And he just spotted it real quick. I was like, shit. But that's funny about the Pepperidge Farm cookies because I totally, like I said, forgot that they were even there. We went on with everyday life.
I would have
And
liked
so,
to see them fly off the fan just to hear their
yeah,
reaction.
exactly. And it'd be like, because I think they used to have a commercial about it, hiding them. You know how like they would hide them in the commercial? And I think that's why I did it. It
Gotcha.
wasn't because I was hiding them from any of the kids, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be the worst place to hide them if you were trying to keep them for yourself.
Right. That's what I told him. I said, "Don't you think I would hide them in my car or something?"
In your side drawer of your bed.
Right. Exactly. Underneath my pillow.
Right? That's funny.
It is hilarious. These kids are funny. They were pretty offended. They were like, "Tell me now."
It's hilarious that they called a family meeting. That is
Yes.
awesome.
We didn't have very many family meetings either, so, you know? Oh
That's
my god,
hilarious.
too funny. I'm struggling on this table. Odd job re-raised me. I had 2 pair. I folded it just because I had the lower 2 pair. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How many are
And
still in it?
14.
Nice.
17.
Aces versus sevens. Ooh.
17
What is
still left.
oh,
17?
16. Yeah, 17.
Oh,
17.
17.
Awesome.
I was in 14th place. Sorry. So much I'm paying attention.
Don't forget
So I
to
did
like,
a
subscribe.
Facebook post out to take a poll on a design that I'm working on. You can probably see it in the background, like the big door that you see. See that door?
The door.
See it in the back? The French doors.
Oh yeah, I always think they're windows. Yeah.
Okay, it's big French doors that open, and that goes out
Gotcha.
to my deck.
Gotcha.
And I'm actually taking the window panels and putting decorative film on it, and but I got to paint the window first. So today I scrubbed down one side of the door, like I did the white vinegar, I wanted because whenever you go to paint it, you want it as clean as you can get it.
Yeah,
You know
we
what I
all
mean?
want whatever we're gonna paint. Yeah.
Yeah. So it actually took me a while just to do one side of it. So tomorrow I'll get the other side done.
Awesome. That's a good project.
Yeah, but I got to paint it first. And then because in the middle, like it has lattice, like it's the square. You know what I mean?
Window
Yeah,
pane.
window panes.
Yeah. And it is a pain in the butt to clean each one of those little squares, let me tell you.
So are you gonna keep it white or what color?
I am. I'm gonna keep the strip in there white, but I'm thinking the door itself, I'm gonna do like a soft, like gray look or even a tan.
Nice.
But I gotta decide because that's our next project is this room. So
Okay.
whatever I do, I'm only doing it once. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. Right.
So I'm thinking I'm going to do white trim on the outside of it. And then do like either soft, like probably gray, repurposed gray or something like that.
Right.
And then the pane windows has that plastic strip, like all,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, so
Be
it'll
pretty.
pop. Yeah, as I said.
Be pretty.
And it'll look like a whole new door, and then I can get rid of those blinds. No more blinds. That is the biggest thing.
And so, are you doing like a blackout film, or what are you putting on it?
I'll show you. Hang on. Let me sit down a minute. I can add it right to this thing here. Captions. I gotta add it. So hang on, I'll show you.
Uh, uh,
And this is the one that got the most picks on Facebook because I gave him 4 choices to pick. Where the hell did it go? Oh, I took it with my dang phone. Shucks. Wait. Wait a minute. Hold up. I know how to get it.
We on break. I'll be right.
Okay.
okay. Well, let's talk about some tournaments while you figure that out, Raquel. We got the let's see, the Palm Beach Spring Classic is still going on through the 20th of March. Prime Social also has their Texas Poker Championship going on through the 20th of March. The Orleans March Mania Poker Series is going on now through April the 3rd. MSPT is at Rivers Casino in Riverside, Iowa, March 17th through the 20th. The Swiss Poker Open is at the Kings Casino, March 16th through the 21st. Million Philly at Pearl River is March 17th through the 28th, with the ladies event March 20th. Little Kings and Queens Spring Bash is March 23rd through April the 6th, with the ladies event March 30th. And they've been doing a really neat thing on Mondays. You can do, I think it was a $350 buy-in, and the winner gets a buy-in to all of the tournaments during their spring series bash. So
Wow.
it's a great prize package.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. WPT will be at the Hard Rock Hollywood March 24th through April 12th. Don't forget the Flophouse Gang will be there the weekend of April the 8th and 9th. WSOP in St. Martin is March 23rd through April 4th. Of course, Cherokee WSOP is the first 2 weeks of April, with the ladies, the second and third week of April, with the ladies event is March the 15th. So lots of good stuff coming up. And when Keith gets back, we'll let him tell us about his game he's going to have.
Nice. Now, this is the one that got the most likes.
Okay, so tell me, so this is like
it's like a 3D. Nobody can see in. You can see out like a shadow behind it. And
okay.
the sunlight will still come in, but it won't be like overwhelming.
Okay.
And you
cool.
actually, people use this on like tinting windows and cars.
It's
But
beautiful.
now they have
I like it.
decorative. So like if you had like a reading nook with a big window, you can put like a decorative film on it.
Gotcha.
It's like a 3D window film. And it's actually, there's no glue. You just actually get a credit card and you like scrape it on there.
Like
You know
a
what I mean?
decal.
Right, like a decal. Like the window clings that we put on the refrigerator and
like your
so,
Christmas tree.
Right, yeah, like my Christmas tree. Hey, that tree was pretty badass.
It's hilarious. Well, it's beautiful. I like that design.
Well, I'm thinking what I can do with this. I said to myself, no purple. And then this one popped up and I went, wow, okay. I really like that because I need an accent color that I can work with. And the white trim and a gray door would be beautiful with that.
So what color is the background on this?
It's just like clear, like white kind of.
Okay, so it is like a
Yeah, I
white.
mean,
I didn't know if it was
yeah,
gray or beige or.
it's
Oh,
kind of, it's almost like a faded white. So I
okay,
guess an off white. You know what I mean?
it's pretty.
Like if somebody was on the other side of the door, you could see the shadow of them
Right,
walking. You know
right.
what I mean?
You
And
know,
I will no
purple is
longer have to use blinds. So,
what my accent color is in my bathroom in my bedroom.
well, I had
And
other choices, but
I love
I
it.
need an accent color. You know what I mean? Now, the other one, I want to show you this. Okay? And I really like this one too, because this is actually called Rainbow.
Okay.
And the rainbow will give me more color choices to put in the living room, if that makes sense.
Chuck, can you hear us?
Instead of just those color.
Hey, Chuck, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Can you
Okay.
mute for a minute? Because there's a lot of background noise. I don't know if you're flipping a book or something, maybe.
Yeah, my apologies. I was
That's
messing
okay.
with the paper. My
No
apologies.
worries. No worries. I just want to let you know that it was happening.
Got it.
It's better than me yelling at my cat. Ed says I was yelling at him. I wasn't yelling at him. And then this is the other choice. So it's between those two.
Ooh, I like that too.
Yeah, I do too.
Ooh, I like that one too, especially because
And this is,
you're
yeah,
a big time gardener. So that kind of to me screams Raquel.
I got a quick question.
okay.
Does Ed like one or two of them?
He doesn't really get a say.
Okay, then, never mind. Silly question.
Well,
Silly me.
we'll put it this way. He's the builder, and if I was going to construct something, then he wouldn't give me a choice. So you'd be like, "That's not how that's going to work." You know what I mean?
That's
But
hilarious.
no,
So
but
let me ask you.
Ed would never pick flowers. Put it that way, Chuck.
So do
Well,
you have
no. I get that, but what I'm saying is what I'm hearing, what I'm sensing, is that either one of these things you'd really like. If he's pulled, because guys, you're right. Guys, a lot of times, not always, and you gotta be careful. I don't want to get into, but it's not that big a deal. But there's
Right.
sometimes where it's like, I get it. I mean, women do feminine things and men do masculine things a lot of times. But sometimes it's like, yeah, that's really cool. You know what I'm saying? That fits, that works, and so if he has a strong opinion, it might
he's a
be,
tiebreaker.
yeah, tiebreaker. There
Yeah.
you go.
He's the
That's right.
tiebreaker.
Thank you. I was spinning the words, but that's what I was looking for. Is
I
it?
knew where
And
you
you
were
know
going.
what, Chuck? I was waiting for the guys to chime in on that post because I wanted to hear their opinions too. And only one did. Only one made a comment, and it wasn't any of the flowers. You know
Well,
what I
yeah,
mean?
that's life. That's life in the big city. I mean, come on.
But no, I was seriously, I mean, Ed would probably be like, wow, like once I do it, you know what I mean? But the good news is it's not like a sticker and you put it over the glass and your
No,
glass is ruined. You peel it off and you can change it. I can change it all season. Like I can go from spring, summer to winter look.
There you
okay,
go.
let me ask you this. So do you have to cut it out for each of the window panes on the door then?
I'm pretty sure because that I can't get that lattice part off the door
Off.
without
Okay. Okay.
without screwing up the whole shebang. You know what I
Gotcha.
mean?
Gotcha. Okay.
And
Got it.
I actually was like today, I was thinking about it and I kind of lifted and I went to put my finger in that one just to lift it. And it's so tight. So I'm probably gonna have to get like a really good knife.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was
Um,
something you would put on the outside and the outside is just without the window panes. So it's
Well, hey, yeah, it's the whole insert. It's
right. No, but I just didn't know if it was
well, the
something you
other
would put on the
side of it,
outside
right.
and it would just be one sheet on the
Right.
outside and it's
Now the
weatherproof.
outside is the same as the inside. So
But it's
You know
not
what I mean?
weatherproof.
Right.
Oh, your window panes are both on the inside and the outside. Oh,
Yep.
gotcha. See, mine
Yeah.
aren't. My window panes are
Right.
only on the
Some are.
inside.
Some
Yeah.
windows are like that, and I'm like, oh, but I'm like,
Yeah,
all
that's
right,
what I'm
whatever.
curious.
But I think I can. Like, I just cut 15 of them per door, so I bought a big
Right.
roll. And
Right.
if I don't have enough, I'll just buy the smaller roll and cut. But it's very reasonable price. You're talking like $9 a roll.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah, I
fun.
mean,
That's
and
a
I
fun
can
decorative thing. Yeah, why not?
exactly, and it's gonna change dramatically when I don't have to look at those blinds.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know what I mean? And we're always closing it. You know what I mean?
Well,
Now
and I
during the
think
day, I
because
open it
the
up.
door, I have one door that has blinds on it. And it's just, to me, blinds on a door is just aggravating because it makes
Yes.
so much noise when you open it and close it. And I don't know.
And it
I,
doesn't pay for me to get good wood blinds
right.
because
Right.
we're in and out of that door so much, and the dog that's her window. And so
Right.
how she can see out there? Like, she's gonna have to go sit out on the deck. Like, but it will be summertime. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm okay with that. It's not like winter right now where she's still stuck in the house.
Right.
You know. But no, Ed does not care much for flower stuff.
Understood. It was just kind of a thought. Oh, Keith, you're back too. Hey, I've got a question for everybody, if you guys don't mind.
No, let's hear it.
Okay, I'm working on my workbook. It's come along absolutely great. Okay. What motivated me was I thought about a workbook for obvious reasons. I got volume 1, volume 2, and they're doing great. I'm selling 3 to 4 copies a day, all that good stuff. A workbook, I thought about it, but then I saw, and there wasn't any real workbooks going out really good. Okay. And then I saw Sweeney's workbook, this one right here. Okay. And
I
it's
have that
Yes.
one. I
it's
have that one.
been doing really good. Okay.
Yep.
So that plus the fact that I wouldn't mind doing a workbook. So I started it and I've already got the first pass really strong. It's really strong. Okay. So I'm going back and it's actually about 46,000 words in it. Okay. And it's about 230 pages, but I've got it at 8.5, 11. I'm thinking of popping it back down to 8 by 10, which is this size. It just feels a little more comfortable. I'll be using 14 site type print. And I'm just explaining right now. Okay. So that it'll be, I want to make it as unintimidating as possible. It's about people, helping them learn the math. So what I did and what I'd roll around in my mind so many times, but I'm pretty comfortable. But I wanted you guys' opinion on this, and I've talked to a couple other people. Is I used and of course you use the problems from your other books, okay? But I had a lot of word problems in the second book, especially the first book. It's more, because of what it was. I didn't go into all these problems. The second book, it goes deeper, so the problems, but the word problems. But I used exactly the same word problem. So everything that's in that book is in the workbook. So, you
I
could
think.
say, part of you could say, well, that's being lazy, but it isn't in the sense that I've already checked these things thoroughly. And when you do these type of things, you can make mistakes. And so this way I won't have those type of mistakes that can creep in. But I really don't think I'm going to have any type of issue because it's clean, it's crisp. The problems I tell where the chapters are, what book, and everything else. So if you want to go back and get, what the context is and everything else, you can easily do that. So my only question is when I do all these word problems and everything else, do you think anybody's, and I don't care if it's under 5%. I mean, you're just going to get people that want to complain about something and they're going to, and that's, but using exactly everything the same, because some things are like, they're answers and they got to be the same question that are in the book. And I get that. But when I do the word problem, being the same. It's just that you've got to fill them out now. To me, that strengthens because they got to go look at, and I'm not being lazy, but once they've seen, if they've read both books, they've seen the problem. Now they see it again. So there's a little bit of, whether they realize it or not, there's a little bit of comfort. I mean, that's just how we learn material. We go over it time and time and time again. Some of it's rote learning, absolutely, and I point that out, but some of it's, other learning when I go in what is called decision tree analysis and these type of problems where you got to think through it and things like this. to strengthen that. Do you guys see any type of issues with that? Where I've used all the same word problems.
No, the repetition is the key to it, and that's just
That's my thought. Because I
yeah.
wrote it myself, I'm saying it's a question, and I put it on the back cover. I put it I put it in the introduction, I'm saying in the preface. So I'm not doing anything where if somebody's not looking, I'm saying they can't,
Okay.
fine. What's
The
up?
the two things that come to my mind, first of all, I think you should tie your workbook to the book for sure. And I think it's fine that you're using those problems. But the one question I have is, are you going to give them more than just that same problem to practice that theory? Or are you going to do like that problem that's in the book plus 4 or 5 to practice the theory, or just that problem?
Well, those problems, but there's a lot there, Sherry. Okay, already. And like, for one thing, I went. Well, let me go back and kind of the first questions on the problems. Okay, so I have in the back of the book, it says strengthen your knowledge of the poker math. Workbook is for all serious players, and the book covers and all this. And then the bottom, in the middle, it says note all exercises in this work are from the material in Mastery Poker Math Volume 1 and Volume 2. Let me pull up and then I can answer your other question. Other part of your question. Here we go. Is what I do is I break it down, because I start out with section 1, basic problems, skills and terminology. And then so actually it goes back and forth between the books. It doesn't just go one book, I'm saying. There's like, I've read this over. You're going to go back and forth and sideways, which is good because, again, as I see it, because, the terminology, there's some terminology I use in both books, but, what is the equities and things like this? I want people to really get those internalized. Most people talk about fold equity and hand equity and fold equity. I go into situation equity, position equity, bluff equity, skill equity, those type of things, which are all, really important. And then, so in answer to your question, but I have, when I put in situation, the one that we're talking about is situational exercises, but that goes for 60 to, yeah, it's like about 60 pages already. Okay. So if I put other problems in there, it wouldn't stress the concepts even that much further. And I do suggest people consider writing it in pencil, because if you don't understand it, then you go back and forth again and again and again. It's a workbook. I don't, to me, it's not to be neat and clean and everything else. It should be marked up. And by the time you're done with it,
For me, when I'm doing something like that, and the book that you held up is a book that I have, that workbook, is once I learn a concept, now I want to practice it.
right.
I want to practice it on paper before I go into the field and practice it.
Right.
So for me, I benefit from having several pages of the same type of problem that I have to use those concepts to figure out, right? Yeah, because once I learn the concept, now I want to practice it before I invest money at a poker table on it, so to speak. I say that loosely, but you know what I mean.
No. I know exactly what you're saying. What gets me
So,
is when some people don't. They want the book to be cheaper, and yet they'll go out and spend $300 or on a poker tournament, and it's interesting. And then they're, well, it's an extra $5. I mean, give me a break.
that's
The
poker
book I
players.
want, I pretty much grab it.
Won't spend $20 on dinner, but they'll bet $100 in a poker hand.
Right.
That's poker player.
But the thing is, too, okay, so there's some people, everybody is different learners. Everybody,
Absolutely.
either visual, writing, or reading, or listening, right?
Visual,
That's
audio, kinesthetic, correct.
right. There's always that difference. So I think your book is going to be a big hit for some people that do not pick a book up and read it. And if like people are note takers,
Right.
like Sherry's saying, she's one of those people. She wants to be able to write all these notes out, and she wants to see it in the book, and that's going to be a good hit for her. So I think this is great, and I
Thank you.
can see it being a really good hit.
Sherry. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I think you're right, Sherry. And that's what I'm looking for. Something that I didn't really think about, but you're right. I kind of thought about that just a little bit. Haven't spent too much time on decision tree analysis. I have the two or three exercises that went in my other book, my first book, but then I put another one here, do your own analysis, you know what I'm saying? But on the other ones, since they're word exercises, it's just going over the process of, how do you break down a hand? What are you looking at? And I can look at it again, but I'm not sure if additional problems would give,
You don't know if it'll apply. And I mean,
well, well, it'll add, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah, right. No, I get it.
yeah, it's like I told a friend of mine today, because I'm on a different subject now studying because I love poker. But I'm not on that super steep learning curve I once was, and I still love it and everything else. But for whatever reason, craziness or whatever, I love steep learning curves where I just in consuming information. And poker, I'm still doing that, but I'm also teaching it. So, I'm not at that beginning level where everything is brand new and that. So, but no, I'll give that some thought, but thank you very much and look at it. For example,
maybe after each lesson, put a blank piece of paper for them to be taking notes to put it into action, like she's saying.
I've got, that's each of the problems. For example, a lot of the problems are rote memorization. So you get a chart, and the charts. Take this. Take my book for example. Okay, this is my book, and the chart. And I've done this because I saw this in and it was a great book, and I really enjoyed it. It was on chess. Okay, but you see how this book is? There's the chart. Okay, the charts have to be on this side of the page. The reason is I don't want you to see the answers until you have to turn the page.
Right.
Or you fill in the blanks. Okay.
Right.
If you want to go back and forth, that's fine. And I don't even care about that because again, it's practice. It's doing it. It's doing it over and over again. And that's why I suggest doing it in pencil, because that's a rote memorization. Now, when you get into, let's say, the range analysis, I had 3 range analysis in my book, my second book. But the first one was a wide range. It's a little bit too much. Doesn't need to be done because that was just a practice one. So I used 2 range analysis. So there's already 2 on that one, the decision tree. And I can look at the other examples, like you say, would another example or 2 enhance it? I hear what you're saying, and thank you very much. That's what I was looking for is like, I've thought through this thing. I've improved it. I've got an introduction, why you need to learn this, a conclusion, 1 or 2 lines. Here's what you've learned, everything I can to reinforce this, where to go in the book to find these things. I want to make this as user friendly so they don't just pick it up and, if they want to learn mathematics, that by the time they're finished with this, that, they can learn it if they want to.
Right. And for me, the word workbook, I always think back to when I was in school. A workbook was nothing but working out the problems, right? Solving the problems in the book. Right. So when I look at a workbook, even though it's poker, I still expect it to be where I'm working to increase my knowledge base, practice my knowledge base. So that's how I interpret it. So
well, that's correct. And I do, as I say, I have a lot of writing. The book's currently got over 43,000 words in it. Okay. Nice. So I have a preface, and then I have an introduction, and I talk about rote learning. So, and what, and most people, they hear the words and everything else, but rote learning is essentially, the alphabet, the states, the presidents, things like this are things where we learn. And then once we got them, we got them. Okay. And a lot of these charts, that's how you learn. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not crazy about it, but the beautiful thing is it's like riding a bicycle. Once you got them, then you got them. When I sit at the tables and I spill off numbers. Yep, there you go.
My chart. Yep. I got my chart and it stays right here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And trust me, my eyes go right to it. And it was like, and it's starting to just click. Do you know what I mean? Automatically.
Yeah. So that's like I say, the whole purpose of this thing is people really want to learn the mathematics and get deep into it and not intimidating. That's what I've tried to make. We'll see. So the next question is $25 or $29.95.
I like the 25.
$24.99.
Yeah. I like that better.
$24.99 or $25.99.
She
I would
was at like
Can
the
I
best
ask a silly
grade,
question?
and she
No.
she said her guess, and it says go penny over, and I was gonna put 01.
Why not just make it a flat, even number?
Like, you're gonna
25 bucks
smack
or
me.
30.
because 24 sounds better than 25. In the psyche of shoppers, it's a proven fact.
25, I'm good with it, Keith. I'm like, Penny.
I'm just telling you, from a marketing perspective,
No,
And, and you
it's
know what? I was
Keith, it's the
gonna
dumbest thing
prevent
in
her
the
by
world. I
penny.
get it. Keith, I know where you're from. I've argued this in my own head so many times. My one book is $24.95. The second book is $35. Okay. Now the second book is selling, but what's really interesting, and I'm going to have want to have a discussion with the guy that I work with, is that it's 35 right now. And the question is that in my first book, 20% of the books that I sell are from ebooks. In the second book, 40%. Got it? So it indicates that the price may be a little higher. Okay, so the thought is to potentially bring it down a little bit, and in the past you never did this, okay? But today with everything the way it is, people aren't, it's kind of weird. But what's interesting about it is now we're in the other side, and I'll try to stay non-political, but as much as possible. But inflation is going up so much that within a year or two, the 35 may be just fine.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, you're right.
And I'm getting
but you
head shaking.
also want to
Get it.
remember that you want them to buy your books with the workbook. So the workbook,
Maybe put a package
although it could
together.
stand
She's right.
alone, you'd rather it didn't stand alone. So
Oh,
Maybe put
that's
a
already
deal
taken care of
together.
because I've already done a
Yeah,
series. I've got a series on Amazon of 1 and 2, and then I just put in 3,
like a
and
bundle
it's
package.
yeah, and they all look the same. They have a little strip at the top, and then they have a volume 1, volume 2, and then the volume 3 will have volume 3 workbook. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So
yeah,
anybody who buys one of them and says, I didn't know which one I get, it's sorry. I can't make it any more clear that you can tell they
right,
look the same and they're different. And I spent months and months on this, because it has to
right.
look the same, but it's got to be unquestionably
yeah,
different.
no, that's not what I mean. I mean the price point. You want it to be where people buy the books, the workbook and one, or the workbook and two, or the
Yes,
workbook and one
she's
and two.
right.
The
Yeah,
price
maybe
point is
put
what I'm.
like a good price for whenever they buy the bundle package.
Yeah.
But only, if they buy it together. You don't want it to where they separate it. You know what I mean? But if you put
Well,
a nice
yeah,
price
that's
together,
no, I know. Well, the first one is 200. What is it? I just updated it because of a minor thing, and it's
because I'm always
200.
looking for some deal whenever I'm shopping. Like Sherry,
Oh,
we're looking for the best deal possible.
I get it, and that drives me. That just cracks me up in poker because you save $5 and then spend $400 on a tournament.
Poker.
No, here's the thing
Poker.
that gets me. I got this kid that comes up there to my game every now and then. He said, "Hey, you got any smoke? Yeah. Can I buy some? Yeah. How much? How much you want? A gram.
A
I
gram.
am not going to walk to get a gram. But yeah, he will put.
That like a
That's
smidge, like
hilarious.
He'll take under the gun and raise in a 1-2 game $90
Oh, jeez.
with ace 3 off.
He's a young gun. He must be a young gun because that sounds like a young gun.
Yeah.
What does he do? I didn't quite understand what he does, Steve.
He'll throw $90 away really quick in a poker hand.
Yeah,
Fuck a tournament. I'm
Yeah.
in one hand. He'll throw $90 away.
right.
Pre-flop in a 1-2 game or 1-3 game.
1-2.
Yeah, 1-2 game.
But only wants to buy 1 gram of the
weed.
devil's lettuce.
It's I'm
Oh,
I got to be careful, but yeah, I'm getting more and more into the psyche of people and what they're thinking and stuff like this. And you got to be careful because you get in some people's head, you may not be able to get back out. You know.
I don't want to know.
tread lightly,
I do
Chuck.
not
Tread
want to get.
lightly.
Well, no, but if I figure if they're playing on emotion, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be
Yeah.
different than that they're playing by logic and common sense. The people I get along with best use both. Okay. But there's people out there, you know, and they're, you know, they get, they're going to prove to you that they got, you know what, you know,
You know what?
and you're going to show them, no, you don't.
And Coach calls them happy people
They're trying to show you they have more money than sense.
or fun people. I'm sorry, they're called fun people, fun
Yeah.
players.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what they're called? 3 letters. What do you think they are? MTA. Rearrange the letters. ATM.
Oh,
ATM. That's what. It's like. No, we need them players.
Yeah,
oh yeah.
that's how you make money.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, we got another ATM at the table. I haven't done that one. I'm gonna have to one of these days. No, when somebody's, you know, I always love when somebody's really a jerk. You know, then it's like, okay, now I can pull out the guns. You know, and
Nothing sweeter than taking the stack from an.
so one of the guys. Oh, so don't mess with Texas, right? You know, so I'm sitting next to a guy yesterday. We got along really good, and one of the guys, and I won't describe in cases, you know, I doubt if he's listening. You know,
Tuned in.
there on one side of the table with sunglasses and a hat and a long beard and you know everything, you know, it's all this stuff. And so the guy, you know, they're talking about Texas seceding from the United States, and you understand why the discussion, right? Everybody gets this, right? Especially today. So you try it's legal and all this other stuff, and then the one guy makes this real snipe comment about, well, look at the, you know, the whole grid went down last year. And this guy on my right just ripped into him in the sense of, you know, it's like, you know, you go to California, they've been, you know, they've been doing, you know, they've been off the, he did, I'll be polite, but they're off the cliff for 20 years, you know, and this guy just quieted down. And it wasn't long after that that I'm in a hand with this guy. And the board is such, but, you know, tells are in how people bet. So I hadn't suspected what he might be on. And it was like I had middle pair, but I had, you know, there was a smaller pair, you know, that got bigger on the board, but I suspected he had this one. And sure enough, the bet was just the right size for me to call, you know, and it was like 30% of the pot. So for me, it was like, or 30 or 40, you know, percent of the pot. And so for me, it was like 20, 25%, you know, so I had to make, you know, I made the call, it made sense. And sure enough, I was right. And I yanked down this huge pot. And right after that hand, the guy was like, picked up all his chips and he left. Now, whether because of that, I don't know. But I went, yeah, you made the punch. You know, I took him down. You know? He came down a little rough on the guy. And I mentioned, he said, no, it's time, you know, time for, you know, we've been nice too long, you know, kind of thing. And I went, I get where you're coming from, you know, because he was raking into Texas. And it was like, yeah, you know.
As he's sitting in Texas.
Huh?
I said, as he's sitting in Texas,
oh yeah,
he's
I
being
mean,
rude.
it's like, you know, don't mess with the Texan. I mean, you know, it's like talk about one thing that happened in 100 years. You know what I'm saying? And it's across the country. You got all these rolling blackouts and everything else, and you're telling us, you know what I'm saying, for a couple days. Yeah, I don't think so, pal.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
he backed off. It was, but like I said,
you.
it was just one of those where it was like, you know, you get them spinning and I'll take them out. I mean, he had chips, but I don't know if he went in a tournament. I saw him in a tournament later. I don't know if he was going to the tournament or something, or he was just ready to go, or because of that fact, you know, it's just like,
right.
I'm outclassed or whatever.
Hey,
That's what
Keith, you were out enjoying the fresh air while I was announcing some tournaments that are upcoming. Could you tell us about your game that you have coming in 2 weeks, please?
Yeah, yeah. It's actually not this weekend, but it's next weekend. It is a $150 buy-in with a $100 add-on at the second break. There is no rebuys. 30-minute levels. We do not skip levels. We start with our blinds are 100, 100, 100, 200, 100, 300, 200, 400, 300, 500, just like that. I do not skip levels. You'll never say, damn, the price of poker just went high. No, blinds go up, they just go up, but they don't skip. You don't go from 5 to 10, you go from 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8, like a good deep stack tournament. If you have chips at 7 o'clock
That's the clock.
on Saturday night,
It's
we
10
will
hours
put them in a
later.
bag, write your name on them, just like the big boys do, and come back on Sunday at noon to 45-minute levels, right where we picked up or left off.
This is a whole 12 hours here, right here. Like that's how slow it goes.
Do what?
I say it goes slow. That's 12 hours. 1 hour on the clock. No, I'm
It's
just
slow.
saying. Like it drives me crazy. Really slow tournaments, super slow. I don't mind like regular. 15 minutes is good. 20 minutes is pushing.
15 turbo. This girl likes the turbos. That's
I
because you're a
like the
non-liner. Yeah, because
hyper.
you're a non-liner. We that do it live, we don't want the
Oh,
turbo.
live, I'm different. I'm okay with that. If it's worth the prize pool. If it is just like any other prize pool, no,
I
thank
hear you. I hear you.
It's got to be really worth it. You know what
I
I
hear
mean?
you.
Well, do you
Yep.
want to hear my strategy for the senior event in the WSOP out in Vegas this summer?
Let's hear it.
Yes.
Let's hear it.
Fly in on the 22nd. Hang on, let me get this out. My official WSOP
Light,
series,
just like
you know,
the shine
schedule.
right in my eyeball. Okay.
You just
All right.
reminded me.
What
I'm
does it
waiting for an email. Let me
What's
see
it
if
say?
it.
Okay.
Can't see.
The senior event, it starts at 10 a.m. Late registration. Okay, wait. It starts at 10 a.m. Do you know what time they're going to bag?
Like 3 or 4 in
Oh,
the morning.
11 o'clock at night. It's
Okay.
already on the schedule. They will
Okay.
bag at 11 o'clock at night.
Uh,
Now, you can late register until 8 p.m.
Wow.
How long are the blinds?
Wow.
60 minutes.
Wow.
Okay.
See, I'd be showing up at 7:58. Sitting down.
I'm registered 8 o'clock.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
How many blinds do you have if you register that late, though? What, 15, 20?
Hold on.
Maybe 6 o'clock. Yeah, 7.
Hang on. Let's just go and find out.
Because I'm thinking, dang, man.
WSOP.
Because they're just
Look,
trying to get
how
that
many
prize
levels
pool
are they skipping, Keith?
whenever you do something
Hold on.
like
Hold on.
that.
They don't skip levels.
They're
The
going to
lodge,
run
when you can,
multiple bullets.
Hold on.
How
the
much
lodge,
is the buy-in, too?
It's 1,000.
Okay, so yeah, they're still going to have multiple bullets. You know what I mean? They definitely are. But if you only want to run one bullet, then I'd say show up like about 7 o'clock or something and enter. Because then the table's moving a little bit slower that final hour. Everybody's done playing loose hands.
Hold on. I'm going. I've got it pulled up. I'm getting ready to pull the structure up. Hang on.
You got
Structure sheet.
real serious poker players at the final hour because everybody wants to.
8:15 is the late registration is over with.
Okay.
You play 11 levels. If it
Mhm.
starts at 10, it's over at what?
10.
There you go.
I mean, that's
The
still not
level,
bad. 10
it'll be
hours.
2,000. Okay, it's 1,000, 2,000, 2,000. And you start with 20,000 chips. So you got 10 big blinds.
Wow. Okay. You don't want to go that late.
Why not?
You want to I don't know. You at least want to show up a little bit, just
Well,
double your back. You know what I mean?
here was my thinking. Okay.
And the fans in, you know.
Well,
Yeah,
here's my thinking on it.
I'm not going that late.
I'm going to register. I was thinking about taking 2 bullets for it anyway. Okay? My plan is to get there on the 22nd. Okay? And just chill out. Go in there on the 23rd with 2 bullets. Or why not just take and just say, you know what? Let me just throw $1,000 on it on the 22nd. Let me find a spot. You know, the blinds are long enough. I come in. What happens if I come in behind the button? You know, I sit down behind the button.
Are you going to do a shove and hope for double up thing?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
Find a
a
spot.
story.
Say, let's go for it, boys.
That's a different story. A lot of people do that.
But
that's a
also,
different
you're going to have a
story.
hard time getting anybody called that because being that last, they're all tightening up.
Okay.
at that
They don't
point.
call. I pick up the blinds and Annie.
Right,
Find me
true.
another spot.
But if
I'm
you
all
do
in.
that, say like the last 2.5 hours before late bread, you'd have a better chance of doubling up because they're still a little bit loose at that point because they still know they have 2.5 hours to rebuy.
Okay, but here's the thing. If
Yeah.
I don't, if nobody calls me and I just keep stealing blinds and Annies, I can bag.
Yeah.
And then I go, okay, and if my bag ain't nothing to write home about, set it to the side. Play the next day. And play from the beginning all the way
Do they
through
let you
11 rounds.
combine bags?
Huh?
Can you combine your bags?
You can't combine them, but you can take your best one.
Okay. All right. That's not even a bad choice either. Does it? I mean, I don't know of any tournaments that let you combine ships.
They're just specialty tournaments.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've
like
seen a
sometimes
few like that. Yeah.
Silks will do a
Yeah.
some kind of bonus or something.
Yeah.
I
I
seen
think
little kings
Millie
and
and I
queens
think
do it.
Millie, I think the Pearl River did it once where you can combine. They're very hard to find, but there are some places that'll do it every now and then. It's definitely not the World Series of Poker, I'll tell you that. Hey, how many folks are left in our game?
12 right now.
Mm-hmm. Odd Job still taking the lead at 31K.
Yep.
We got Rough Racer. He's sitting now. Oh, he's back. He's second place at 36. Mr. Meaty in third place. Way to go, bud. 20K. Mac Masters in fourth. And Stephanie is in fifth
Wait, who's
place.
in fourth?
Poker by Bitch Chips.
Who's in fourth?
Masturbator. Sorry. He just
Masturbator.
moved.
Yeah, I
You
was
forgot
going to
this.
say I don't.
I'm like, wait a minute, that just changed, you little stinker.
And
Yeah,
then Poker Bitch is in fifth.
Hey, Stephanie's
Yes,
in our
I love this
chat.
guy. Hey,
Yeah,
Steph.
she is. Hey, baby doll.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention, honey. I actually turned that off.
I got to get qualified. I ain't
You
in
do.
it.
Oh, I thought you were. We talked about that Thursday night. We thought you were.
Mm-mm.
Got to
No,
work
ma'am,
on
I'm
that
not
one.
Your
in it.
wife did such a great job being a host. I'm like,
It's always fun
fun.
having her on.
And we got the real story.
About?
Remember, I said I was going to interview her. We got the full scoop, Keith. You just weren't here. Guess you're going to have to tune in next time.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. We didn't get any scoop.
Nor did we even ask any questions.
No.
Thank you. Her and I have talked because it's I never get to play cash on Thursdays until midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. Then I'm playing
Yeah.
till 6, and then got to get. So her
I
and I
know,
have
trust me.
we talked about it, and if it's okay with you, can me and her alternate Thursdays?
Of course.
Let her play, like let her come down. Like I'll be down here this Thursday. Next Thursday she'll be here.
Yeah, just take turns. I mean,
Yeah.
do what you got to do to
Because
make
there's
money.
too many fish up there on Thursday nights. I mean,
Whatever you want to do.
There is a lot of fish.
All right, Bernie, I'm all in. Let's go. She got aces over my queen 10. Nice hand there. Sorry, guys, I just doubled her up.
Uh-oh.
All in.
Good luck.
Thanks. They'll just think I'm on tilt. Okay, got one caller on a 6-7. Bam. I have pocket eights. Hit an 8. I'm saved, odd job. I'm not really paying attention so much this game.
What are you thinking about? You there you go. You better be folding.
I'm
I
folding
was
it.
trying to steal that shit.
Yeah. No. He stole
I
my
didn't see
champion.
that Stephanie was in the hand. I just thought it was me and Kobe, and I just jammed. And Kobe snap folded, and I was like, "Well, where's my chips?" And I looked, and it's little red line. It's like, "Oh
He's not even on my table. I thought you bet odd job.
no!" I was just trying to steal, just trying to be a thief.
Well, that's what we got to do around here, right?
Almost got your hand snapped in that cookie jar.
Uh-huh. I bet I just yeah. Ooh.
I thought you bet me a better fold. I did fold that time. I was like, I did. I had a queen too. Wasn't calling it. I'm at least going down fighting with a good hand when I go out. I don't just call like a 7-2, 5-4, like any of that crap.
Man, what
Or
is
double.
Stephanie's deal calling my just
Get
Get
him,
him,
Steph.
Steph. Get him. I love when you get aggravated. You make me laugh so hard when you get aggravated.
Oh, we had the same hand. Oh,
oh whoa,
chop
whoa.
it up. All right, McMac.
Oh, God. Too funny. Too
Nice.
funny.
No 8, no.
I haven't seen her in a long time.
Good game, Steph.
McMac.
Call my raise with Jack 9 bullshit. You know what?
What
Hey,
did you have, Napier?
who's probably had a straight
Brokeback
draw
Mountain.
or
What'd you have, Keith?
Brokeback Mountain.
Black Mountain.
Oh,
That's 2 kings in a hole.
Wait, who put me on this table with them? Oh my God. No.
Wow.
They just moved me.
I,
Guess
I
where I'm
can't.
at.
I cannot believe she called my all in on a draw.
well,
Maybe she knows I need to qualify.
I
I
didn't
think
want to say
people,
it out loud,
I was
but
gonna say, no, she's not
she may have been
letting you
trying to
win.
help a
I can
brother out.
promise you that.
She had like
She's
62
not.
outs.
Yeah, she's definitely not letting you win. Not even close.
I jammed on her last night. In live poker, she had queens. I had jacks. And they didn't hold up. It was. I know you had, like I said, you had like 62 outs and middle pair. Woo, woo, woo.
Hey, that was a lot of
Tell
outs.
him, Stephanie. You had a
Yep.
reason to be in the hand.
Like right this hand.
Maybe not pre-flop, but still. I'm just
Hey,
kidding.
that
Get him,
last-
Steph.
Wow, nice hand there, Mr. Meaty. I had almost a straight flush on there.
Get him, girl. Get him.
I only got like 6,000 chips left, so
Oh,
I am 9 out of 10. So we're on the bubble.
All right, people, can we have this game over with by
He
10
knows.
p.m.?
How did you do down in Jacksonville at the tournament, Steph? I ain't talking about over there in the
I
pit.
don't know. She racked up some good cash there,
Well,
so
I ain't talking. That's not poker.
Heat
Okay,
Napier, you
there's
are
no
throwing
skill in turning over your cards and having the nuts.
shots fired. Shots
No skills in
fired.
that.
Shots fired.
What I want to know is,
oh, come on, 10, 10, 10, 10. Oh, 10. All right. Thanks, Mr. Meaty. He took me out. Pocket tens versus his ace 6. And guess what he hits?
I
An
didn't even know
ace.
you was at my table.
Yeah, I wasn't there long. Not anymore. I had to go for that double up. I mean, pocket tens is a good hand to shove for that. So
Ooh, she's reading you,
I
Keith.
don't care. Like I said, I don't care.
what, Ben? Stick shift.
I'm going to tell you something. If Best Bet reported their dailies to Hendon Mob, who would have more?
Why don't they
Yeah.
report it?
Not
They
their
don't.
dailies.
Not
They
their
don't. That's
no.
terrible.
No, that's a lot of work. And
No.
they're not worth,
lot of
and
work.
they're not a lot, and they're not worth a lot of points either. So they're really
You know what? It is not a lot of work.
I was gonna say a lot of
it is
casinos
for
do
somebody
it.
to keep up with to report hundreds of
I was gonna say, and they're pretty big
South
poker
Point
rooms.
does
You're
it
right.
4 times a
Yeah,
day.
they're pretty big. That place is huge.
South
yeah,
Point reports 4 times a day.
Wow.
yeah, but
And all you got to do, I mean,
South
you
Point is
already
a
have
bigger
everybody's name that registered.
I was gonna say, if it's in the system, it can't be like it just clockwork after that. You know what I mean? Well, of course,
if their
Little Kings and
systems
Queens put me in as an unknown player, so I was pretty mad about it. But I mean, I wasn't enough to willing to call them and be like, "Can you fix this?" I can care less, but it just still, you know, what I mean, still things get screwed up. You know what I mean? It happens.
All the dealer has to do is when you sit down at the table is when you hand them your seat card, let me see your driver's license. Thank you.
It
That's
should
it.
be. Yep, it should be that easy.
If they would just tweet everybody that was in the tournament, that
19.
entered the tournament, and where everybody finished with their money beside it, each individual player can report it to Hendon Mob. All they got to do is send that.
Yeah.
Just take a screenshot of the social media post and send it to Hendon Mob.
Oh.
Yeah, but
Because Orange
some of
Park,
these card rooms that have been around for a long time, they don't have a system that just prints out or has, they have to physically type up the list.
Gotcha. Yeah. I don't know. There's better
It's just
software
not worth it
now.
for them. For
Yeah.
what? 3 points on Hendon Mob? 5 points on Hendon Mob? It's just
That's
not
just it. That's why I didn't worry about it. It's like it's not a big deal. If it was a huge win, then yeah, I would have taken the time to like fix it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
And
the
let's
points
face
would
it,
have
we
mattered.
want shit
Yeah.
on Hendon Mob that means something.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Yep. I believe Ed, it's 19. Is that right?
now, did you
No.
did you hear about their I wished I've already committed to playing a home game up in Tennessee Saturday. It's a big home game.
I was going to ask you if you were going to go down, but then I
They-
remembered you're going to Tennessee.
They have capped it at 50 players.
I know.
They already have 20 alternates.
Nice.
It's a $200 buy-in. It's going to be a big game. I've already committed to playing it. If I hadn't have already committed it, my big ass would be going straight south to Jacksonville just as hard.
No,
and
I
fast
was
as
going to
can.
ask you guys if you were going, but then I remembered you were going to Tennessee, and I was like, oh no, and so Yeah, and then I remembered she's going to Disney, so I
They're
was like, "No,
adding
I'm not going to." I know, I
$10,000.
know, I
Are you
know.
going to be down there?
Me? No, not unless something happens on Friday when I go for my testing that I don't have to worry about traveling. Like right now, I'm ready to crawl out of my skin sitting here.
Yeah. I want one of those $10 chips.
I do too. We should ask Lisa to get them for us.
Lisa's not here. She's not going to be here. She is
Oh, she is headed
at the
to
con.
Here, I'll
Australia.
wait. Let
Yeah.
me text. You just want one?
I was gonna say text
Either one.
what's
I guess I thought about asking Connie to see if she could get her hands on them
yeah, I would ask
Do
Bonnie.
you do you want
Bonnie would
just
get it for
one?
you.
too.
Do you want just one? Two.
What, the anniversary special ones? Yeah. That's actually the car that I found. It's the
I mean,
50th anniversary.
are
I'm like,
I don't know if they're just doing them for this one weekend,
That's it.
and then
That's it. That's it. When they're gone, they're gone.
yeah, I want one. And I know my buddy Lugnut Scott Altus will want one as well. So
Okay, I just sent Connie a message for us.
thank you.
Let's see if we can't get that
Tell
taken care
her
of.
I'll send her. I'll cash app her the money, or
She knows. She knows. Unless something happens like miraculous between now and then, no. This chick ain't going on the road. Because could you imagine me trying to sit for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours?
nope.
Me neither. So this chick is not planning anything until we figure out what's going on. So
well, did they take a test? Did they say it was kidney stones or
I go Friday.
okay for MRI,
CT scan.
CT?
Yepper.
Well, if it's kidney stones and they pass, then you should be good. Once they pass, you'll be okay. You
Yeah,
know?
I don't think they've passed. They haven't passed yet. So, but we got to make sure it's that and nothing else for sure. You know, we're probably 90% sure, but we just, I want concrete evidence. I don't want anybody missing anything. So, we'll go Friday and see what happens.
Well, good
I'll be
luck.
glad to get that over
Yeah,
with.
Well, good luck on that one for sure.
yeah,
Thanks. Appreciate
absolutely.
it.
Yeah, you want to
Hopefully it goes good.
start to take care of yourself and make sure, like you said, know where you're at. Know where
Yeah.
you're at. That's
No
that's,
guessing. No guessing.
that's right.
Because if it's not that, then,
We gotta find out why. Yeah.
yes, ma'am.
I mean, what else could it be if it's not kidney stones?
Could be my ovaries.
I think it would be like still you would be on a brown eye. Yeah, you might be like where you can't even breathe. Yeah, I mean,
Well, I was to that point. So we are just buying time until we figure it out.
dang. I don't know. You know me, I can't stand doctors.
Me neither, but I got to make sure it's nothing that starts with the letter C.
Oh, hush. We don't even say that word.
Right?
Knock on wood.
I don't say that word.
So
Yeah, trust me. Been there. I'm still there. I actually go on the 25th, so next weekend we'll find out if it came back.
Well,
Yeah.
hey, speaking of doctors, y'all know I was supposed to went to the doctor Friday
Oh
morning.
yeah. I kept meaning to ask you about that.
Right? I play poker till 2:30 a.m.
Thursday night.
Mm-hmm. I go I go home. Stephanie's already in bed, sleep. I go home, I get in bed.
Smart chick.
I get in bed and I fall asleep. 1 hour after I fall asleep, Stephanie's phone rings, and it's Tiffany, our dealer, calling Stephanie on Facebook Messenger from my Facebook.
What?
She locked her keys in the car.
Oh, and your phone was there.
No.
No.
On your computer.
Yep.
Well, at least she was
She
thinking, like, how to get a hold of you guys.
she was down at the gas station, locked her keys in the car, with her phone in the car.
Oh, Jesus.
She came back up here to the office.
Oh, my goodness.
She walked.
No.
Oh,
How'd she get in?
Braden's sister was behind her in her car. So she brought her
Oh,
up here.
gotcha.
She
Gotcha.
went inside. She got inside because evidently the poker room door was still unlocked. And she come down here. She couldn't remember her password for her Facebook. So she said, I wonder if Keith has ever logged into Facebook.
Oh, my God.
So
wow.
Stephanie, she's her phone
It's ringing.
messenger's
It
going
says
off.
Keith, and she's looking at you like you're right
No,
next to me.
she didn't know I was in bed.
Oh, shit. She didn't even know you were in bed.
When
She
she
just
rolled
was,
over,
he was, oh, God, sleeping.
when she rolled over to answer the phone and
He's,
seen it was
you
me,
go,
and then
boo,
kind of rolled
motherfucker.
back up to try to get, she bumped into me, and she's like, "What?" So I get up,
That's
I get my
hilarious.
clothes on, I go down here to the truck stop, and I
Poor
buy
Tiffany.
one of those Slim Jim unlock kits.
Yeah.
I go back down to the gas station, I get her unlocked. It's probably around 6:30 when I get back home.
Wow.
So we canceled the doctor's
I,
appointment? Is
I
this what you're telling me?
Stephanie
Yeah.
calls me at 7:15 to wake me up. I said, Steph, you better just tell Dr. Christie I ain't coming. Ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, you ain't gonna be able to
Not
open your
today.
eyeballs.
So
Crazy.
Dr. Christie called me at 8:30.
Uh-oh. You're in trouble.
Wow.
I said, look, I'll fall asleep before I get there. I ain't even gonna try to drive this tired. I am not gonna do it. So I've got a reschedule for noon. No, 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, that's not a bad reschedule.
No. The only thing of it is in 2 hours, I can't eat or drink anything until after 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, yeah. Well, I adjust. Look, this is what I do. When they say nothing after midnight, I adjust that time to the appointment time. So that's what I do.
What do you mean?
I was gonna say, Keith, just listen to your doctor. Unlike Sherry,
So
you
if
listen to your doctor.
so if I have an 8 o'clock appointment, they go nothing after midnight, then they want 8 hours of nothing. So if my appointment's at 1, I'm gonna go till 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning before that.
I hope I'm asleep. I ain't gonna wake up
Well,
at 4 in the
I'm
morning
just
to make my
saying.
breakfast.
Hopefully you're asleep. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, so if you go after midnight and
Yeah.
have something, you still have a big window there that you're okay, is my
Oh, yeah.
point.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
hopefully, like, yeah, you're asleep and you're not even thinking about it. So, what tests do you have to get?
I don't
You
know.
don't
She'll
know.
do the finger test.
blood workup.
She'll have her nurse stick me in the arm. She's gonna do my gravity test.
Is this just like a checkup or what?
Yeah, it's just you might
Oh, okay.
biannual little deal, she's gonna check my gravity.
What's your gravity?
How much I weigh?
I was gonna say,
Got it. Okay.
I love when they lift the bed up and then they push the buttons and get the reading. I always like, what the hell's the reading? Like, because we're paying all these blankets and me. Like, I think that is the stupidest weigh-in ever when you're in the hospital and they use the bed for weigh-in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
'Cause
Now they don't.
females will take off their shoes, their hoodies, their coats, and then get on a scale. We don't just jump on there with like our purse or handbag and our shoes.
Man, what are
Like, we
you
take it
talking
all
about? I'm
off
gonna
just
go
to get
in
up
there
there.
wearing jogging shorts, a t-shirt, no hat. I am not
Exactly.
carrying my watch.
Exactly. Man, I'm like, rings, everything come off. No, I'm
You
just kidding
damn
about the
right. I
rings,
put contacts
but
in.
I'm
I ain't
just
even
saying,
wearing my glasses. And I'll make
like,
sure I shave.
hold this. Exactly. It could be a whole pound of beard there.
Y'all are hilarious.
Oh my gosh. I
Too
was
funny.
laughing. Like, man,
Too
this
funny.
thing is broken.
Too funny. Y'all are hilarious.
So it looks like the my mail has look this. Like it was eaten. Like my mail.
Oh, looks like it got stuck in the machine.
Yeah, and it's all damaged. What's the other one look like? This is worse. Look at this.
Oh, yeah.
Like this
It
was me
looks like it
getting my
got
mail.
run over.
Yeah. It does. I was like, what
Oh, my God.
happened? Like I just picked it up again.
Looks like it got run over.
I haven't even I had to let it dry because I didn't want to open it and rip it. Like, so it's been sitting on my desk drying before I can open it. So tomorrow morning I'll open this. I'm like, so yeah, my mailman was having fun with my mail.
Yeah.
But it could have blown out from that storm.
Yeah.
And then somebody shoved it in my box. I don't know. It's
Hey,
hard to
how many
say.
are left in our game, y'all?
9.
Too many. I would have had them all out by now.
There's 9 of us. Raquel going out put us at the final table. We got Rough Racer is in first place with 56,000.
Nice.
This sexy young guy named Masturbator's in second place with 2 knockouts at 35,000. Mr. Meaty is got 102 fever and 27,000. Labels is at 22,000. Kobe's 21,000. Bernadette is in sixth place with 19,000. Odd Jobs dropped to seventh place with 13,000 and 2 knockouts. Kelly Storks is in eighth place with 12,000. And Mick Mac is in bringing up the rear in ninth place with 11,108.
Good job, y'all.
Now, Odd Job, he really lost a lot of chips, so he must have lost a big hand.
He did.
Good job. You were supposed to
Yeah.
take better care of the chips I donated to you, brother.
He thought that Rough Racer needed a few more chips.
Well, darn it. Could have just let me keep my own chips then.
No, speaking of doctors, there was something in here for a doctor's office, and like, yeah, that was the messed up one.
They could have kept that one.
Right? They're probably just billing the insurance company.
They could have kept that one. Oh, that's funny.
I know. No, but I do like this doctor that I do go to. She's really good.
Awesome.
I can say that she's a better doctor compared to all the other doctors, besides the ones I've had in Pittsburgh. Yeah, they were
Awesome.
top-notch doctors. And they actually didn't even speak English. Like and then they had a whole team that followed them, and they were all just note-taking. So, like, you could tell he was the doctor.
Yeah,
You know
he
what
was
I mean?
teaching. He
He
was
was teaching.
teaching. Yeah.
You ever go into the doctors and they asked you, "Is it okay if my assistant comes in?"
Oh my God. When I was delivering my oldest, okay? Now, I delivered with no drugs, okay? And right when I got close to delivery, they came in and said, "We have these 2 student nurses. Is it okay if they watch your delivery?" I was like, I looked at my doctor. I said, do I really have a choice? She goes, no, not really. She goes, I really want them to see your delivery since you're going natural. I was like, okay. Everybody gets to see Sherry's hoo-ha. Go ahead. Oh, and they started crying after I delivered my son. They were standing like to the side and they were bawling their eyes out. And all I could think to myself is those two young ladies are never going to have children as long as they
Hey, you did good. You did a service to them.
yeah, they got natural birth control the rest of their lives.
Yep, that's how it works.
Oh,
Yeah.
they were it was so funny. When they left, my husband and I just busted out laughing. We were like, they were really crying, weren't they? My husband goes, yeah, they were bawling their eyes out.
Because of
Oh.
the pain or what?
No, I think it was just the excitement of seeing a baby born, because they
Oh,
were
yeah.
obviously young ladies. So,
And
you
they
know,
haven't witnessed it.
yeah, they
Yeah.
hadn't witnessed it or what it was like. And it was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. Bless their little hearts. They'll never have children.
Well, no, it's. But I read one on I think it was on Woodstock, okay, and there was a guy who saw a woman give birth, and this is 20 years after or something like that. It was funny. Anyway, but it was like the guy was still. I mean, it's a huge event.
Oh, yeah.
It's a
No,
huge
my
event. And
husband
meeting
will
somebody
tell
you
you.
don't
Yeah,
know.
absolutely. And my husband cut the umbilical cord for all of our children, and he'll be the first to tell you it was amazing. I mean, it's life changing for sure. And when we as a society started to allow men to be that involved, the best thing we could ever do.
Yeah.
Honestly, the best thing we ever did as a society.
Well, that was my daughter-in-law. Okay, they asked me to go in, and I said, absolutely, I'd be honored. Yeah. And then the day that I got there, her dad was pacing back and forth, and he's like, "Oh my God, that everybody's here now! I'm so excited, Cal!" And we gave each other a big hug, and I had little Weddy with me, and I said, "I guess he can stay with you." I said, "I'm gonna pop in and see how the kids are doing," and he says, "It's almost time." I said, "Okay." So I go in there and I check in with the kids, and they were like, "Mom, thank God you're here." I'm like, "I wouldn't miss this, I'm ready." And so we're just talking away, and the other nurse tapped on her watch and looked at the nurse like, "It's time." And I smiled at the kids and I said, "I'll be right back. 1 minute." They were like, "Where you going?" I said, 1 minute. I'll be right back. Nurse looked at me. She said, "You better run." I said, "I'll be right back." I walked back into the waiting room and I smiled. I said, "Hey, Gary." And he's, "Yeah, yeah." He's, "Why? Is everything all right?" I said, "Chrissy asked to see you." He's like, "Why? What's wrong?" I said, "Nothing's wrong. She just asked to see you." And he goes, "Okay." And he's like, he didn't know what to do. He took off back in the room. As he walked into the room, she was giving birth. He come around that bend and he was bawling his eyes out. He's like, "Why did you do that?" I said, "Gary, I get a lifetime with that baby." Because he was any time that Gary was going to go.
Yeah,
I said,
Gary,
"Yes,
for
I get,
our audience
yeah,
purposes, Gary was terminally ill. And so
yeah,
Raquel gave up her spot watching her grandbaby be born so that he could watch his
mhm,
grandbaby be born, which is amazing. What a gift you gave him.
yeah." And I really did it for Chrissy. I wanted her to have that memory of her dad. And he cried so hard
That's
after. He's
awesome.
like, "I never got to do this with my own two daughters." He goes, "Thank you." And
That's awesome.
I said, "You're welcome." And everybody's bawling. Nobody knows why we're all crying like little idiots, but
It
we're
is. It's so
bawling.
emotional, and
It
that made
was
a whole nother level of emotions.
I can tell
and
you
then poor
this.
Chris was bawling her eyes out.
There's certain things that men do not have any business doing, and that is going into a delivery room, an active delivery room. A
He
man has no business there.
I
That's why
beg
they
to
have a
differ
waiting
with you.
room. The
I beg
man
to
is supposed
differ
I
to stand
beg
because
out
to
there and
differ
pace
with you,
back and
Keith.
forth,
that
back
was
and forth,
something that
holding
will last
cigars, passing them
for
out.
Chrissy forever.
I beg to differ
You
with you,
know?
bud.
She'll always remember that. And actually, Sam is namesake after her father.
And a man really needs to see what it's like for a female to
Bullshit.
give him a child.
No,
I
no,
agree. Changes the game. Has a whole
nope,
lot more respect for women.
nope.
Definitely. Yep.
They started to show that shit on one of those real players when I was in science class or biology in high school. I got up and walked out. I said, fuck this shit. Certain things that guys don't need to see, and that's one of them that I do not want to see because I think the female anatomy from the waist down is beautiful, and I do not want to see it all messed up. I'm sorry, I don't want. No. I would have PTSD for the rest of my life, and I wouldn't be able to have sex with my wife or any other woman in this world. I just
Oh
couldn't
my
because every
God,
time I'd
Keith,
look
you're
at it, I'd
so
go, ah,
dramatic.
ah,
You're
ah.
such a drama queen.
It is such a drama queen.
Yeah.
No.
You
Well,
are
there's,
so
it's. I mean, what you guys? I've never seen it, but it seems like it's really beautiful. I was talking to a couple guys, and one of the guys says, "Yeah, they're afterwards, they they don't want I have to worry about messing around anything else." But it was like I was thinking about this the other day, and guys cannot cry in certain situations. You know what I'm saying? With men,
Right.
things get really, really
I
tough.
agree.
I mean,
Right.
unless a tear could come out, but that would be a natural. That wouldn't be like a crying tear. It'd be like you're so upset. But a guy can be really upset. Some other person's doing real jerky things or whatever. But men have been conditioned, at least when we grow up, to that type of thing, and I think rightfully so. That being said, is when a child gets hurt or a woman gets hurt or things like this and a man cries, that is completely acceptable. I mean, I watched a guy one time at work and he cried, and that was like, this is a long time ago, and then everybody can go on their thing today. But after that, to me, it was just like that guy had a little bit of a stigma there, and it's because you can't, not in a work situation, but if it's a child, if it's what I'm saying, if it's somebody you care about and things like this and tears come out, that's perfectly normal. It's a restriction. People could argue about it. I think it's a good part of men, to be able to do that. But where Keith coming from, I get it. I wouldn't be like that. It'd be like, what a beautiful thing. Right now I've been doing
I
studying and
agree. Yeah, I agree but when you love that person, that changes.
When they wash that baby off and they got that baby all ready to put out there on display,
yeah.
then I want to take a
Then
look at
Chris
it.
is like,
Keith
"You
You
say,
feel
Napier.
me?
"Hey, what a baby.
No,
Oh my
no, no. But that's how he feels. Come on,
Keith
girls.
Napier, I'm going to find somebody who's going to have a baby, and I'm going to say, we got to bring Keith Napier.
No, no,
I
no,
can
no,
t- no, no, I will
I
not go.
would,
Yeah, but
yeah.
it's like we shouldn't force people. I mean, if Keith
No,
want to do
it's
it,
just a joke. I would
no, no,
never
no, no.
force
I know.
anybody.
I've been, it's nature is just incredible. I've been studying DNA. Okay, have you guys ever studied DNA? You want something that's really blow your mind? Okay, DNA starts with amino acids. Okay, and they proved that amino acids can get together and all this stuff. But then the amino acids turn into proteins. Okay, and that in itself is a big change, right? And those proteins turn into living cells. Okay, living cells turn into tissue. Okay, and DNA is like has this RNA that comes out, and anyway, tissue turns into you know all sorts of the bones and the organ or the organs, right? And the organs turn into a human or a fly or whatever. It's when you start reading this stuff, and there's this thing called the robosome, and this little RNA, which is pieces of DNA with only half of it, comes out, and it goes through this little machine, this machine called a robosome, and it sticks out these these amino acids, right? That has all these process, and you go, oh my gosh, this is just phenomenal. It's mind blowing. If you get into intelligent design, you look at this and it's like, yeah,
And that's why it's so mind blowing when you're a female and you're growing that cell into a little human being.
Oh yeah, and a guy
And
can't relate to that completely. No, I understand what you're saying.
and that's why men being in the delivery room is so important,
Well, it
because
is, but they want to be there.
although they're not the one going through it, it's good for them to see that information firsthand. Now, it's not for everyone. Like my daughter was dating a guy in college who would faint at the sight of a drop of the, and we often joke that if they ever got married and have kids, he'd never be able to be in the delivery room because they would have to have a team of doctors for him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is
It's
the
not for
option of
everybody.
being open
Yeah.
is wonderful, but like Keith's going, it's not gonna improve him, you know what I'm
Right.
saying, or be
No,
Right.
it's just not
because
his
he's
cup of
already,
tea.
and I have certain things that are like, no, and we ain't going there, okay? And that's not that,
Absolutely.
but it's
We
like
all do.
like you say, you're gonna see things that you can't unsee.
Uh,
And I mean, no, that's the thing is, and I'm not saying it's
With
good or
it,
bad, but it's like
yeah.
forcing somebody to see something they don't want to see. I mean,
No, I
I,
don't think
I
any of us are saying to force anyone to do anything.
no, I
But
understand.
yeah.
I've only been in one day in which I've seen stuff that was like really, and I'm not going to go into detail, but I've never fought in a war or things like this, but I one day in that, and it was really interesting to watch my personality. I got to the point of after seeing some stuff that was really, really bad. Okay. I mean, that was part of my personality I didn't like because I went out and we were in dinner afterwards and I was just waiting for somebody to pick a fight and it wouldn't have been very hard and it was like, wow, that's an interesting part of my personality because I don't not like that. But it was like if anybody tried to push me around, it ain't going anywhere, farther than that much.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow, that this is not a part of my personality I like, but I've been through such an intense experience, and it doesn't bother me, like long term. But at the time, I was, that wasn't a good part of me. I was like, come on, just push me, and I didn't do that or say that to anybody, but that's how I felt. It was like I had all this emotion and getting rid of it. Luckily nothing happened or anything like that, but I remember going, wow, this is not normally me, and so some people, yeah, they know what their limitations are, and just, yeah, it's
Absolutely.
I'm scared to death
Absolutely.
of a damn lizard.
He is
really.
indeed.
Sherry has witnessed that firsthand.
Did you have bad dreams about lizards or something?
Now, I'm just as terrified as a lizard as I am seeing a baby being born.
And that's understandable. It's not for everybody.
Like I said, I took a paddling in school because I told my principal, I said, "You're crazy as hell." He said, "Keith, you're going back in that room and you're going to watch that." And I said, "Coach Chambers, you're crazy as hell."
Yeah.
That's exactly what I told him. He said, now you're
I
gonna get
think
now you're
that
gonna get
they didn't have to make you sit
paddling."
there. I think everybody had a right to not, if you did not want to sit there more.
Well, that's, yeah, when you force somebody into something that they don't want to see,
Yeah,
it's
Yeah, I told him,
exactly.
I said, "Batter up."
yeah, I don't know how I'd have
Back
felt.
in the day, you actually needed your parents' consent to actually take that class.
Well, this wasn't nothing. This was just plain old biology. This wasn't sex ed.
Yeah,
This was
I'm telling you, I still
biology
remember
or
they had to
science. I
sign
can't
off
remember
on
one of
it.
the two. It was either health, science, or biology, or maybe all three of them in one.
Health.
I don't
It was
know.
probably health.
But when they said that they was going to, and I'm no one. I ain't ate lunch yet. There ain't no damn way in hell I'd never be able
All
to
the
eat lunch
important
again.
things in life. He's worried about his lunch.
Two, I know that I was old enough that I know what I like about a woman, and the last thing I needed to do was see
Change that.
no, no, no,
I will tell you this though, you would have felt differently if it was Stephanie.
no,
It would have changed you. You might
no.
not know
Because
much
before
directly,
Stephanie
but
got
you would have been
leukemia, and
next
she
to her.
We'd
Oh
already
my.
talked about it. I said, you know what? I mean, if you say I have to go in there, guess what? You're not getting pregnant. We're not going to have a kid. Mm. There's some things in life, you know. I mean, that'd
Yeah,
be
that's
like somebody saying, "Hey, Keith, won't you say that God ain't real?" Well, dude, you crazy? I ain't saying nothing like that.
true.
I ain't gonna say nothing like that. Just like there ain't no daggum way in hell I'm gonna watch a woman give birth, whether it be on the interweb or in person. Nope, 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 nope.
I don't blame you, bud.
It's okay.
Because
We're not gonna make you
I
like
only
you.
did it
I
twice
was
and I wasn't doing it again.
I was forced to watch Beetlejuice. I was forced to watch Nightmare on Elm Street. I was forced to watch Friday the 13th because they would. I was
Mhm.
forced into it.
Who forced you to watch those?
My sisters and my
Oh,
best friend.
oh
Oh, I'm
my God.
sorry. I'm
I mean,
sorry.
and Faces of Death. I mean, they.
I'm sorry.
Mm-mm, no.
That's me. I
When
don't
I
do
tell you
scary
that I
movies.
am,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
don't do
Friday the
scary in
13th,
my house.
I did watch as a teenager, but after that, I could not, there's no scary
I'm out.
movies. What? What the hell did you have? Ace Jack. Oh, you
Ace
had the
Jack
Jack.
versus Jack 5.
And what the hell?
Versus
I
Jack
mean,
5. Who had Jack
yeah, I
5?
mean, some people want to call my
Mr.
razor
Meaty.
Jack 5. I mean, that's fine.
Wow.
Gotta get lucky.
You had Ace Jack. Wow.
Yeah,
Mm,
gotta get lucky.
there's a
Um,
5 on the flop there. Wow.
There was a
Good
there was
game.
there was a movie when I was a kid. It was called Two on a Guillotine, and it was Connie Stevens and Dean Jones, and it was about this girl whose father had died, and he was a magician, and he'd gone crazy because he had this guillotine act, and he'd done it with his wife, and he chopped her head off. So
I
he went
feel
crazy.
like I've seen this movie.
Yeah. Anyway, so it was so I watched the movie, and it turns out the father is alive, right? And he's in the background and all this weird stuff when she's taking over, going to the house and everything. And at the end of the movie, Dean Jones is fighting the father. He's got Connie Stevens on the guillotine, right? With the guillotine up there, and he's fighting the father and everything else. And he finally overcomes him, and he backs up into the guillotine, hits it, and whack! And her head falls off. I fell out of my seat.
I did see that movie
Oh
because I
my
was like, oh
It
my
God.
was
God,
like,
he did it
oh,
anyway.
Keith, what you're talking about, it was like, oh my gosh,
You
I
can't see it.
that one
Yeah.
did it to me. And then what happened was he started seeing her body moving, and this time the guillotine act actually worked, and so she lived. But when he bumped into it, and I was a kid enough to not know what the next thing would be, I saw this head chop off. It was like, but that was the one that got me, and it was. I won't call it traumatic. I mean, the
That's
traumatic one I
traumatic.
I
I'll
can't
tell you
go.
what I thought was traumatic was that stupid movie, The Birds.
Oh, that was great. Birds was
Oh
great.
my God.
Let's
Carol,
just
what
put it
teams
this
are
way:
there?
Checking their
Yeah.
eyes out and everything. Oh
Oh
my.
yeah, yeah.
Oh.
I cannot go camping in a cabin by a lake.
Oh.
Why is that? Is
Oh,
there a
because all the
spaghetti
movies are
movie?
camping in a lake and
Oh
Friday
with,
my
the
with the
God.
13th. I
axe
cannot do it.
killers and stuff. Like that.
Wow.
Do you know who Jason Hatter is?
No.
No.
Friday the 13th, I think it was part 7. He was the Jason, okay? And I met the guy in Club Med. This true story, years ago, and I can't never found a picture. And the picture of him, in the Jason mask, and he signs it, watch your ass, Chuck, or something like that. I don't know where it went, but anyway, at Club Med at night, you'd go to these different places, and they had these like small fields or things off to the side. And I always thought back then, it wouldn't be like today where you get sued or something. Anyway, you're out of country, so who cares, right? Nobody's going to sue you. But I thought about it, and it was like if they could pump the music in, and was like, da, 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 da. And in this field with Jason, if he had his kid with the net and get a video camera and him jump out, you know, with a knife, and just watch everybody if they'd seen the movie just totally freak out. I always
Oh my
thought that would
God.
just be such an incredible,
Well,
laugh.
I'll
Good
tell
prank.
you
It'd
one
be a good
thing that
prank.
Yeah, it'd be
I
awesome.
can't do is go to a cemetery.
Why?
Oh, now see,
I
I do like going to cemeteries and looking at all the
mm-mm.
stones.
No, no, not me. Good Lord.
I
And
do.
my family, okay, they were like, "Honey, it's not a big deal. We're gonna go with you." I said, "No, thank you." I said, "I will meet you for the luncheon after." They were like, "Honey, we're going to go," they're naming all the graves that we're gonna go visit and lay flowers and freshen. I said, "No, thank you." I said, "Just I will meet you up at the house for the luncheon. I will actually get the food started. I'll be that person." My aunt says, "Honey, I'm gonna hold your hand. I promise you, it is not that bad." I'm like, and I mean, it took the whole team of family to talk me into it. I finally agreed. Okay. This is during the day. It's during the day, it's not night. They promised me they were going to be there. I said, okay. I take the kids because I want to feel comfortable. The kids are like, they want to go, blah, blah, blah. I pull into the cemetery and we're sitting there. It's hotter than heck. It's like June or July. And the kids are like, "Can we get out of the car?" I said, "No, you cannot." I said, "We're waiting for Graham and Aunt Sherry and everybody." "Well, how long is it gonna be?" I said, "They should already been here." I said, "So any minute, you guys." They were like, "Mommy, it's really hot in the car. Can we please just stand outside the car?" I thought about it for about 10 minutes, listened to him griping about it. I let him out of the car. I said, "Fine. Don't like go walking on the grass. Don't step on anybody's grave. Be respectful, please." "Okay." And I said, "Don't wander off." I said, "Stay right here." They were like, "Okay." So they stood outside. I could not get out of that car. And Eddie says, "Mom," and then they start reading graves, okay, as they're sitting there. And they're like, and my son, like, and here he's mentioning my last name. I'm thinking, did I just pull in front of my grandmother's gravestone, like, and park there? So I took a deep breath and I'm like, all right, I got out of the car and I started walking a little bit. And all of a sudden, it starts to rain. And we're like, okay, back to the car, hurry. So we're like running back into the car. And guess what? My car won't start at all. 45 minutes has gone by. My family still hasn't showed up yet. My heart is sitting there pounding, and turning the engine as many times as I can, and it will not start at all. And my car was perfectly fine. And before that moment, and I had no idea why it wouldn't start. And I'm thinking, "Oh my gosh, am I out of gas?" I'm checking the gas gauge. There's plenty of gas, blah, blah, blah. And the kids are realizing I'm having a panic attack, you know? And my son puts his arm on my shoulder. He's, "Mom, it's going to be okay." I said, "No, it's not going to be okay. I can't believe I can't leave the cemetery." And I'm like literally
Oh my
starting
God.
the car 100 times. And then the last time that I was ready to just give up, it started, and then everybody pours into the cemetery. The whole family, they're all in a single line coming. And I put the window down. I said, "Goodbye." They were like, "Where are you going?" I said, "I've been here almost an hour. And where have you been?" And I'm like yelling at them all, "We're sorry, honey." And they started telling me they had to go to the thrift store. They had to stop at the store to get gas and then this. And I said, "I don't care. I'm leaving." And out of the cemetery I went. I was like, "No, thank you. Never coming back again."
Whenever we moved into a new town, I always went to look at the cemetery to see the history of the town. I just like here in the
Oh,
South, we have some really old cemeteries, and the gravestones are beautiful that people had carved out of marble, and it's interesting because nowadays you just put the person's name, the date of birth, the day of death, and there may be a small blessing or a saying or a nickname they were called or whatever. But back in the day, it was almost like the headstone told the whole story of that person's life. There with the carvings and, like one of the first ones I saw in the town we live in now was a grave, this big, beautiful headstone that was for a baby. It was like a child, and on the headstone had different carvings, And once you started to look at the headstone, you realized that those carvings were like, must have been favorite things of the baby, or the child. Like, I don't remember what the items were,
Like a
but
rattle or
yeah,
yeah.
I just remember us,
Mhm.
surmising. Of course, we didn't know. We were just looking at it, trying to figure it out. And then we were like, oh, those must have been some of the child's favorite items. They had them, carved and very elaborate. And I don't know. It's just as I find it very interesting.
Now, if
Especially the
somebody had
old
yeah,
ones.
if somebody passes away in our family, I go to the chapel. I'll go all the way. After that, I'm not coming back to visit it. I know where you're at, but I'm not one of them people. And everybody says, "You'll change that after your mom dies." I said, "No, I will not." I said, "So my mom knows I'm not coming to visit her stone." So I've already made it more than clear to her.
It's
It's
interesting
not
you
my
said
thing.
that because until I lost my brother, my mom always took us because we had such a big family and we lost her brothers and sisters. Because my mom had us when she was had me when she was 38. So I started losing aunts and uncles and whatever. I was still a kid. But and we would stop at the cemetery to put flowers on my her mom's grave,
Mm,
her dad, whatever. And so when my brother died, um, I had to leave town before, like I didn't get to go back to the cemetery after they buried him. Okay. And then anytime we went back to Chicago to visit, it was like the winter. So I never got to go to the cemetery because it was always frozen over, so to speak.
mhm.
Then my sister passed away, and she passed away, and we buried her the day after Thanksgiving. Well, no, we didn't. That was when the ceremonies were, but the ground was frozen, so they didn't get to bury her till like a week later. So I never got to go to her grave. And so then my dad passed in February, and again, it was winter. So I never got to go to my dad's grave.
Mhm,
So then when my mom passed,
mhm.
all four of those people, I know this is going to sound weird, but all four of those people are in the same grave. Okay.
You mean at the same cemetery?
No, in the same grave. In the same grave. And I'll explain that in a second.
They're
So,
all fighting. They're all fighting right now.
right. Um, and so it was very emotional because I was going to that grave the first time and it had all four of those people in that grave, right? Very emotional, very emotional. And my brother, he was buried in a casket. When my sister passed, she was cremated. So they allowed us to bury her urn. So then when my dad passed, my mom went to the cemetery and asked them if his urn could be buried there and her urn, as she wasn't going to do it unless she could be buried there too. And the cemetery said yes. So that's why they're all in one grave.
Yeah. Ours is all, like, in one area. I
Yeah,
remember
my whole family's and
yeah,
my aunts and uncles are
and I
all,
don't
yeah.
I don't go back to visit, and I'm not going to, and even my cousins come home for the summer, they're like, "Well, we're gonna go see dad's grave, do you wanna come with us?" I said, "No, thank you." I said,
Yeah,
"No,
and it's okay.
I love you guys,
Hey,
but
it's not
just
your
not
cup
my
of
thing."
tea. It's not your cup of tea, you
So I'm
know?
with you, there's just some things, like, in life that you can't do.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
it's
like,
okay.
when I have to be there because of the service, but that's where I draw a line. After that day, I'm not coming back. Like
Yeah, so I've actually been to that grave once when we took my mom, but they still had the old headstone because we had a new headstone made that had all four of their names and all of their dates for all four of them.
oh,
It was a
wow.
big, and let me tell you, it was a big ordeal because when I called the headstone place, the lady would not believe me that there were four people in the one grave because it's very unusual. And I told her, I said, honey, why would I be lying to you? Well, the cemetery's not going to let you do that. I said, honey, it's already written up. It's already paid
Yeah,
for. I said, I just need to get the headstone ordered. So, and you know what? She wouldn't believe me. She said, well, I have to call the cemetery. I go, here, talk to, I can't remember the guy's name, but, of course, she works with him all the time. I said, just talk to whatever his name is. I go, he'll tell you. We hung up, and about 3 minutes later, she called me. She said, you're right. There's going to be 4 people in that grave. I go, yeah. I know.
Oh,
I'm helping to put them there because I'm making the arrangements. I know there's going to be 4, but
well, I'll tell you the most amazing experience I've ever had at a cemetery is when Ed's uncle had passed. He was the Indian chief of Pennsylvania, and when they die, the white horse follows. They
oh,
take them to
oh,
the grave.
I bet it's a
So
beautiful ceremony.
it is very beautiful, and
I bet it
we
is.
follow the white horse, and the white horse takes you to
To
his
the-
resting place.
Wow,
So,
beautiful.
it just makes, takes your breath away, but yeah, it was a pretty cool experience.
Very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool.
Sherry, I
And
didn't. I heard about your mother, but I didn't quite understand how I missed it, I guess, how the other 3 people got in the grave.
You mean cause of death or how they all ended up in one
Yeah,
grave?
exactly the same grave, yeah.
Um, a special request for my mom. Those were 2 children she buried.
Okay, got it.
And so when my dad died, she went to the cemetery to see if they would allow, because she didn't, we didn't know at the time. And I was out of town still. I hadn't arrived yet.
Okay.
So she went to the cemetery and talked to them and said, look, we need to make arrangements. And I would prefer if we were reunited with our children in their grave.
Okay.
Um,
Got it. Okay. No, I got it. It was just. Okay.
But she didn't want to put my dad there unless they put it in writing that she would be allowed to also. So
Okay.
that there wasn't any. So when she did it for my dad, they put it in writing right away with the cemetery that she would be allowed there too.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
That's crazy.
It was, let me tell you, of course, the year my mom died, I was dealing with Natalie's wedding at the same time as my mom's funeral and arrangements to go to Chicago and all that. But, when you get on the phone and you try to explain to people that, are in the industry that 4 people are going to, the remains are all going to be in the same grave, the reactions of people are almost, I think back now, it's like laughable. But back then, of course, you're so emotional that you don't want to deal with that. You just want them to get the job done so you could stop having the conversation. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I need. Give me a price. That's it. I don't want to have a big debate about, how did they die? Why are they all in one? No way is the cemetery going to let you to do that. Who in their wildest dreams would call you asking about a headstone, making this story up? I mean, come on.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I just needed to like check it off my list of things to do. And these people, when I would call like the florist and I would say, I want special things. And, they're like, wait, they're all in the same grave. I was like, yeah, they're all in the same grave, and just kind of grit my teeth because it is unusual. And I understand the curiosity. But when when it's so raw, that's not the time for the conversation. That makes sense.
I'm sure they get a lot of, like, people that they don't do it right and have to fix it. And, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. And
Sure. And it's not like you can mess it up. That's expensive. So they do have to get it exactly right.
and,
Yeah.
and really, like for the headstone lady, I was just calling her to make an appointment so that my only brother that's still alive could go there in person because he lives less than an hour from there. Of course, I'm in Georgia. That was out, in Illinois. And so I was really just calling for an appointment, and for him. But anyway, it was quite a rigmarole. um, almost laughable now, but back then it was just hard. It was just hard.
I'm sure it was. Like I said, it's not my thing.
And you're not alone. I mean, you're not
Yeah,
alone, and
I'm
it's
fine.
okay.
I don't have no problem going to any funeral. It's not about anybody that has passed. I go up and I say my farewell, blah, blah, blah. I've been to too many funerals,
I know
actually.
it. I hear
Way too
you.
many.
Now let me tell
And
you. Oh, go ahead.
it's the cemetery part. That's just it. It's creepy. It's like,
Let me tell you a funny story about going to a funeral. Okay, Natalie is about uh she's probably about 21, maybe 22. And a very good friend of mine, a lady I played poker with, lost her grandson to cystic fibrosis. And so, of course, Natalie knows my friend. So she went with me, and we are standing. I mean, it just is. I laugh about. We laughed after we left the place, but it wasn't funny at the time. So we are standing in line, and the kid, Cole, was, I think he was a sophomore or junior in high school. So when he passed, there were literally lines of people to come to pay their respects at the funeral home. Every high school kid in Quita County came to pay their respects for this kid. Okay. So her and I are standing in line at the funeral home, and we are probably 15 feet. We are inside, and it winds through. It's a big old antebellum home that they turned into a funeral home. And we are probably 15 feet from the door of the room where the viewing is for this young man. And all of a sudden, my daughter Natalie, now mind you, he knows Madeline. She knows Madeline, who's the grandmother, but she never met Cole. And I met Cole once when I helped do a poker fundraiser for him. But I'm really close to Madeline. Okay, good friend of mine. And so we are standing in this line, just chit chatting. And then all of a sudden, poor Natalie, it just hit her. For some reason, it just hit her how sad the situation was that we lost this young man. She, and I laugh now because we talk about it now and we just laugh about it. She started crying so hard. You would have thought she lost me. Like she never even met this kid before. And she is crying this big,
"Aw."
ugly cry, right? And then I start crying. So we're both standing in this line. And of course, everybody around us, I laugh about it now. Everybody around us was looking at us like we had lost our freaking minds. And she looks at me, she goes, I don't know why I'm crying. I go, it's okay, just breathe. Just breathe. And I
Yeah.
promise you, we were hysterical for like 5 minutes. And finally, we calmed down and she goes, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. And I go, you know what? It's okay. Obviously, you needed to get that out of your system. And I'm really glad you did that before we went in the room with Madeline and the other family members. And still till today, she'll say, you set me up by taking me that funeral home. I made a fool of myself. I go,
Well, was he young?
yeah, it was only 16 or
Oh,
17.
okay. Well,
It was
yeah.
so, and it was hard to see all the kids there. I mean, it was very emotional. It really
I've been
was.
to one of
Yeah,
my
it was.
daughter's
Yeah,
friends' funeral, and the hardest part was standing in that line, just seeing the people, the
yeah,
support,
yeah.
and I can't imagine how the mother felt. You know what I
Unbelievable.
mean? Yeah,
Yes,
but
unbelievable.
it's a very emotional experience whenever you deal with a young person's funeral compared
Yeah, it was so.
we
Oh,
always say to ourselves, like, "Oh, it was a great life. They had a great life because they're 80 or 90 years old." And that's what you do. You go to celebrate their life and, and it's not so sad, you know. but when it's somebody young, it's hard.
It's rough. It's rough. So we every once in a while something will come up and I'll just look at her and say, "Remember that ugly cry at the funeral home?" And we will just bust out laughing
Yeah,
because it was just the heat of the moment, the emotions of the moment. It was, the awkwardness of everything, and oh my God. Oh, if you would have seen us, you would have thought, like, yeah.
I remember I was getting ready to go to work, and I get on Facebook because I had a few minutes to spare, and I seen the little girl passed away from one of her classmates, and I sat down and I went, "Oh my God." I and I was like, "I gotta go get Brandy," because she's at school right now. She's in high
Yeah.
school. And so I called my boss. I said, "I'm sorry." I said, "We have a family emergency and I cannot come in today." And I hung up. I didn't even give them any reason like this for them to say. And I got in the car and I went to go get her. And I walked into school and she was going in between classes and she turned around. She see me stand there and she dropped to the floor. And one of the teachers helped me pick her up. And he says, "Come on." He says, "I'm gonna sign her out, you can take her." So I because everybody had to be signed out. You had to report to the office and sign, and then they says, "Just go, Miss Dent, just take her." And because she was a
It's
mess.
so
Yeah,
it's
and
so
I knew soon as I seen
it's
it
so
was
sad.
so hard.
It's
Yeah,
so sad when and
it really is.
oh, it just breaks your heart. I saw my mom bury two children and the amount of strength my parents had, it just is all faith based. They definitely leaned on their faith
Yeah.
after losing each of them. But I would never wish that on my worst enemy to
Mm-mm,
lose a child. It's just
absolutely
horrific. It is
not.
just horrible. And like you said, the younger they are, the more horrible it is, right?
My nieces probably buried probably about 5 of their friends, and when they were,
So
like,
sad.
early high school, and that was just a lot for them to take in.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's so
and they
sad.
go to a very small school. They went to, like, a country school, so everybody knew
That's a
everybody,
lot.
you know?
Okay, onward ho.
We're
How many players we got left, Keith?
down to
I'm
3.
out. I don't know.
Oh,
We're down to 3, I'm watching. We got, Mr. Meaty Man just took a big pot. Okay, so Rough Racer is in first. Mr. Meaty's all in at 89K. Kobe 72 just called.
good luck,
Ooh.
you guys.
Okay, Jax versus King Queen. King, ooh, baby. And she has doubled up. I thought he had wait,
What
I thought
one?
maybe he got the straight. He didn't get the straight. Kobe
What
did. She
one?
won the hand.
With what?
Oh, I don't know. It happens so damn fast. Hold on.
Okay, that's okay. That's all right. That's all
Yeah,
right.
king, queen, hit the queen, king. So
So the Jacks lost.
yeah, but almost a straight there. So I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, there's 2 tens on the flop.
but there's still she didn't go out.
She's a 70K now.
Yeah.
Mr. Meaty is at 51K. Rough Racers at 89.
Good job, y'all.
All right, they're trying hard.
Sounds like it's raining here.
It started raining here probably around 7 o'clock.
I just
we're,
noticed. Hmm.
we're gonna be at 75 on Friday here.
Here, let
Oh
me
my
see what our
God,
weather's going to be.
Friday.
I
I'm
don't
going
even know.
tanning. I'm gonna wait to go tanning whenever it gets hot. I'll have to go in the morning before it gets too hot.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Get ready
I
for
guess we're going to
shorts.
have rain tomorrow. 68, 71, 65. Excuse me, 65, 68, 73 by Monday. So we're going to have a nice week.
Sharon just put a storm that was brewing through on her Facebook.
Oh, I hope they're safe.
Yeah, I just saw that on Facebook a minute ago. Yeah. Oh, it's switched off. Oh, it's so quiet in my house tonight.
It's quiet here too.
Mhm. No, I didn't even play poker today because I was just busy spring cleaning and just cleaning and getting stuff done around the house. Like the guys were here because they were repairing the back deck that's in the kitchen, working on that. And then they're redoing the shed doors to my she shed.
Nice.
My she shed does not look like whenever you Google she shed.
Oh,
Let me just
we
tell
got to
you.
work on that.
Well, it's cute because when my son was in high school and Ed was teaching him to learn to build stuff,
Right?
that was his project from Ed.
Oh, that's a great project.
And Ed Ed would give him an assignment every day before he got home from work, what needed to be done on the shed. And so he would, when he come home from school, he'd be right out there working on it. And it took him a while, like, and if it wasn't right, Ed would take it apart and be like, no, this is how you do it, and blah, blah, blah. So when it was completed, we just smiled. I said, well, it's your shed, bud. You put whatever you want in that shed, put the lock on it, it's all yours. Put your bike in here, all your stuff. He goes, thank you. I said, you're welcome. I said, you earned it. You built it, right? So when he got married and he was leaving, he came running up. He said, almost forgot some. I said, what'd you forget? I said, oh, you forgot to hug me. He goes, no, here's the keys to shed. I said, oh, no,
Oh,
hell no. You're taking that shed. He said, no, Mom, I can't take it with me. He goes, it's yours now. I
that's
was like,
awesome.
oh. So, yeah, I inherited the shed, except for it's so old now. And you're talking like 30 years ago. It says, well, you give it some love, you can make it like a she shed. It's like- But I have like all my swimming pool stuff in there. You
Right.
know what I mean? And I don't have the pool anymore because when I got the dog, she demolished my pool. You know what I
Right.
mean? She'd go to the top of the yard and take off running and dive. Like
Oh,
it was wintertime and she didn't come back. And I said, Ed, where in the hell she go? Ed goes and checks and she's bobbing for air in the pool. And this was winter where just chunks of ice. And I was like,
oh
so
my
Ed
goodness.
dived. He dived into the pool with ice, grabbed the puppy, took her, and he's next day, she did it again. I said, okay, pool's coming down. I said, we cannot risk our life trying to save her. I'm like, good Lord.
Yeah, pool's got to go.
So we took the pool down, but I still had all the supplies and stuff in there, like all the chemicals and the ladder and the hoses, you know what I mean? It's all still in there.
Right.
So the guys were working on it. I told Ed, I said, Mason has a pool, tell him to take everything. He can have it all. Because I only had the pool for the kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, when we moved into
And
this house,
yeah,
we didn't do a pool here, and I miss it. I'm going to be real honest with you. I'm really considering
I
getting one
know
of
it.
those round horse troughs, and putting that in my yard. I really am.
I do too, but I look at it this way. How much am I real? I might want it then. I might get in a lot when I first get it, but then you know,
Well, when we moved here, we decided we weren't going to do another pool because we were trying to do away with projects that took our time away from things that we want to do. You know what I mean?
mhm.
And the kids were already teenagers, and we were like, okay, we're
That's
getting rid.
just it. Kids, like, we're gone. And I got it for little Eddie and Sam, but then we have a whole bunch of new kids that moved into the neighborhood. So now I'm going to have to be worried about all of those kids.
Yeah, you're
And it
biting
was
all day.
okay. Yeah, it was good when I had it in the fence, but I
Right,
can't do that because of Sable.
right.
She loves water. She will be she's a magnet for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Meaty's out. We're down to 2 players.
Who is it?
Kobe and who else? Rough Racer.
Rough Racer. Rough
Good job,
Racer's in the
you
lead
guys.
at 130K, and Kobe's got 86. Okay.
Good job, y'all.
But yeah, so after Ed rescued her, when she did it again the next time, we were like, oh my goodness. I'm like, yep,
Yeah, that's not good.
no.
That's not good.
And she was probably only maybe 2 months old when Ed dived in to grab her, like, because she was just bobbing for air.
Yeah, that's not good.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
And man, she would get her paws on the ledge of the pool. It's like a 5-foot pool. She'd lift herself, like to throw her body. You know what I mean? And she'd practice it, running from the top of the yard down.
What a rascal.
Mm-hmm. I'm like,
What
all
a
right,
rascal.
no. Because you can imagine when she gets any taller, she's just going to have a field day with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's going to be nothing where she hops over it. And she's big now. She probably can't lift herself because she's a big girl now.
No, you'd have to make a ramp in and a ramp out or something for her.
Yeah, she's probably better now because she's a lot older, but I still don't want to deal with it. It's a lot of work having a pool
It
Oh yeah.
is. It really is.
every day. When Sam, our grandson, was life flighted into Pittsburgh, we were back and forth the hospital, no sleep, and we were in the middle of putting a new bedroom suit in our bedroom. So it was completely, we had no bed. It
Oh
was
God.
like in pieces.
Oh, God bless you.
And so we had no sleep. So whatever we can hit a couch or whatever, we were out. You know what I mean? We'd throw a mattress on the floor and we'd be sound asleep, trying to
Right.
wake back up and back to the hospital. And when I came home, like I think on the fourth day of dealing like back and forth Pittsburgh, my pool was completely green because I didn't have the pump running and take the cover off. I was like, all right, we can't do this anymore. Like, it was too much.
I hear you.
But you gotta keep up with it, like it's an everyday situation.
Absolutely. And we used our pool every day. Believe me.
Mhm.
My kids and I used my pool every day. We definitely got our money's worth out of having a pool. But when we moved, we were checking things off the list of things to do because, when you're running around with three kids and sports and working, there comes a time that you're like,
Right,
okay, what can we get rid of in our lives to free up some time? And the pool was one
yeah,
of those things.
right. It is. And like I said, then we wanted to go on vacation, so I'm like, "You can't just leave the pool
Yeah. Yeah.
because you gotta run the pump." Now the big in-ground pools, then you can just deal with all that. You know what I mean? Alright,
Right.
so Keith, I had taken a picture of this. We'll find out
Who-
who finishes first. I don't know yet, but
Okay.
I snapped a picture of it already. Rough Race is obviously going to. They're on a break right now. Oh my gosh, my neighbor's dog had puppies. They were like 7 days old yesterday. They probably fit in the palm of your hand. They're
What
little
kind of
lab they're chocolate labs.
Oh,
But they grow, I mean, super fast, but it's so cute to see them at 7 days old.
right? My
Just
friend
precious.
my friend Beth and her husband had one and it ended up being like 160 pounds. It was the biggest lab I'd ever seen in my entire life. I mean, it
You
was
oughta
this big.
seen the farmer's lab that used to visit my dog. I swear that thing was like a hound super lab.
Yeah, it was crazy. I'd never
When
seen a
he
lab that
walked,
big.
like, his thing would just sway back and forth, like, underneath of him, like, he was that freaking big. Like, his ears were big, like, huge. But those
How
labs,
many
they are
puppies?
sweet. Imma say there was 9 of them.
Oh my goodness, a big litter.
Yeah, it was a big
Oh wow. Oh,
And it
wow.
says, "Control yourself, Raquel." I just remember that thing, man. My neighbors used to have a lab, and we used to have a lab, so we used to always have labs running around here. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're
They're
selling these dogs. They're like, "Do you want a puppy?" I said, "No, thank you." No. So she added me to the page the other day. I went, "Oh, don't do it. Don't go like the page. Don't do it." And I did. I went and liked it. I couldn't resist. Oh my
That's
goodness.
funny.
They're just cute. They actually, it's so funny because their family actually moved into Ed's grandparents' house, old house. And the day that they had moved in, I saw the moving trucks coming. But anyway, I was coming home from work and I come up the road and I come around the bend and I seen one of the little boys, this little digging thing underneath the pine tree, digging. And that was the last time that my kids dug under that tree. He was little like that. I started
Oh.
bawling. I come in the house
Oh.
and I'm bawling. I saw the new neighbors are here. It's like,
Oh.
what? And I told him, he goes, "Oh." I said, "Baby," I was like, "God, that's
Oh.
so many memories." I'm like, "Man, that was sweet."
Right?
And they're twins. Those are my little bike crew.
Your bike gang. I bet they miss you.
They are so sweet.
That's
I was
awesome.
just talking to him because 'cause they're in 3rd grade now. I said, "How's school going, bud?" "It's real good." He goes, "It's really, really hard." I said, "Oh, no." I said, "Next year." He goes, I know, it's gonna be harder." I said, "Pretty much." He goes, "And wait till I get to be a senior and it's gonna be hard." I said, "Actually, no. That will be your easiest grade." He goes, "Why is that?" I said, "Because all these years that you put in, they make you real smart. So by the time you're a senior, you know it all." He goes, "That makes sense." He said, "Yeah, I get it." Just
That's
laugh.
awesome.
But they're so fun to talk to. He has girl trouble. Tells me all about his girl trouble. He says girls are crazy. I said, I know. I know how these girls operate.
He's too smart for his own good already.
Hmm. Well, it's funny because these twin boys are identical, but they will definitely have different hairstyles. The one is like more G cute, and the other one's like punk it up with the gel, and it's just so funny to see their little
Oh,
personalities.
how fun.
And the other one says, "I don't have girl trouble." This is I just break up with them.
Oh, gosh. 3rd grade.
I just laugh. But the little girl that next door next to me, you would just love her. She is so precious. They were putting a brand new swing set in for her. And she says, "Kelly," and I'm outside sweeping the porch. She says, look what I got." And I see that, honey."
Oh.
She goes, "Do you want to come and play with me?" She wanted me to come and play one. I was like, I said, "I'll probably fall, honey." "No, I won't let you fall."
Oh.
It was so cute, but they're just a lot of fun. It's fun to have all these little kids running around our
Heck
town.
yeah.
They're the last kids that were running around this town was me and Ed's kids. So it's been many years. Yeah,
I hear you.
it's
I
sweet.
hear you.
All right, they're
Um,
just passing chips back and forth.
I was just going to say, are they off a break?
Yeah.
They're at it. Yeah.
Ooh, it's raining here.
It's kind of, I don't know. I ain't been outside since the first break.
We'll go outside. Go get some
I'm
fresh air.
I'm in a game.
Oh, like get some fresh air.
How you doing in that game, bud?
In 13th of there's 24 left. There was 542 people.
Nice work.
How many people left?
42.
Oh, that's good.
Nice work.
Shit ain't in the money yet.
Well, getting closer every minute.
Yeah, this game don't have breaks.
I'm reading the comments in our chat and it says I have bigger balls. That's what Stephanie wrote.
Yeah, I ain't paying no attention to her.
I didn't say all that. That is so funny. I like the bigger. I like that comment. I have bigger balls. So you still don't have any proof. So funny.
Yeah, she forgets I've made a mint in them Jacksonville dailies. Or how many of those Orange Park 30Ks that didn't get put on Hendon Mob.
Is Orange Park just as big as the first one, the one I've been to?
No,
No, it's smaller.
yeah. The new one's going to be just the same size.
When are
And
they
how-
supposed to open that one?
Well, you talking about Orange Park or St. Augustine?
St. Augustine.
Oh, they still ain't done with it yet.
Are they getting close though, or do
The
they have a
signs
date?
up on it. You know, the signs up on the building. You can see it when you drive by. It's right off of 95.
Keith, I got a shirt for you. I just found out. Okay.
Okay.
Somebody on Instagram messaged me, asked me to like their shirts and things like this, and so, but I I found one of the shirts and let me read it to you. And I can't come back on. I'm locked up. I don't know what's going on with it. When I show it, there we go. Okay, I'm back on. So what the shirt says is, and I'm just going to use one of the word. They take the second letter out, but it says, "I don't need sex. The river f's me every time, every day."
I like.
That's not bad. I mean, it's really pretty good,
Yeah.
It's so true,
I'm
isn't
going to
it?
tell Nicole. I'll get Nicole to make me one of them shirts. I don't need sex, but the river fucks me every time.
Now, this is Poker Chill Apparel, okay?
Oh my gosh, yes. Like they want me to wear their stuff. Okay, so I had a problem. The only problem I had with their stuff is like I went to their page to look and Alan Kessler is modeling the one.
Who
And I
is
said, yeah, no, thank you. I was like, as soon
The
as I see
chainsaw.
that, I'm like, yep, nope, we're good.
who is this?
The chainsaw. Alan Kessler.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
He,
Okay,
he
I
was
got it.
wearing one of the hoodies. He was one of the models they
No.
used.
I understand that he was modeling. I don't know who he is. I apologize.
Who owns
Oh,
the
yeah.
company? Do you know who owns the company?
No.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've seen it. Okay.
Yeah, he's on my
Raquel,
Facebook.
you know who owns the company?
I forget his name, but he is very nice. Don't get me wrong. And but like I said, that was the one thing I went, yep, nope, I'm good.
I'm missing why. I don't understand.
We'll Google him, you'll see. He's not a very friendly female. Like, but if you would ask any female, well, in Kessler, you're gonna get a lot of eyes roll. Put it that way.
I mean, I've heard the name, but I don't.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let me look him up. I don't know. Hold on.
I actually had to throw him out of the Flophouse group because he would fight with everybody in there. Like, you can't.
he is
And I would
ranked
message him. I'm
all-time
like, why are you
cashers
fighting
with-
with these?
Well, oh my gosh, this guy's rated high. I'm not saying he's a good
He's
man.
a good poker player. He's a professional.
Yeah, he is.
He's
Yeah,
a good
he's
poker player. Alan is a
Yeah,
good
he
poker
is.
player.
Yeah, he is.
It says he's ranked 10th in all-time cashes with 363 tournament cashes. That's
Yeah.
incredible. That's
Yeah. He's a good player. Don't get me wrong. Just he's a big butthead.
yeah, I
And
know. I know. It
I
doesn't. I
don't care
mean,
how, like, I don't care how much money you make or who you are. You just still got to be a normal person in
oh
society.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
I don't. You know, I want to hang around with good people. I don't. You know,
yeah,
like
exactly.
I don't need. I
That's
don't
just
need
my
that.
opinion. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, those people
But he
are
would fight, but he has like a chip on his shoulder. Like he's so good that you've got to worship the ground that he walks on. I'm like, I don't think so.
yeah, Helmuth's kind of like that, but he's so freaking insecure that it just doesn't come across.
Really? He's
What's up?
insecure?
Who is
Oh,
You
that?
think?
I said Phil Hellmuth. He's just
Oh, Helmuth.
I don't most of the books that I
I
start
would
reading,
think he'd
I
be
read all the way through.
overconfident.
And Phil Hellmuth's book, I started
Yeah.
reading and I just went, oh my gosh, this guy's I want to try to get into his head, and try to understand how he does it. I've picked up some things. I just finished, a week or two, three, I don't know, within the last few weeks.
Mhm.
Alex, uh, what is his name? One of his books. I'll think of it in a second. But he talks about Helmuth, and Helmuth gets down when he's low in chips, and he doesn't go all in. When he's smart enough. The bottom line is you've only seen 28% of the cards when you've seen the flop, your first two cards. Okay, aces doesn't matter. It's you get 71% by the time the flop comes out, and when you start thinking of it, it's just another way to think about it. And people get so carried away. It's getting into the flop and then figuring out where you're at. From day one when I saw that the best players, play our good flop players, and I went, that makes perfect sense. And that's where I started focusing right from the beginning. Is before the flop, it's still good. It's still important, to pick your hands. But after the flop, what do you do? Okay, in which positions and things like this.
Right.
So
I would almost think
I,
that he would be an overly confident person. I would not think that he'd
Helmuth,
be. Yeah.
oh my
I
God,
would
read about him. He's
I've never
very.
met him. I've never met him, so I don't really get a vibe from him. Like,
No, no, no. But I mean, when you watch him on YouTube, he's always blowing up and things like this.
Well,
But
that's
right. That's
because
what I
guess
mean.
what they're doing? They are focusing only on the poker brat. Okay,
they're
that's it.
focusing on what'll get
They,
them clicks on social media.
I
oh no, no,
mean,
no.
my
I
gosh,
I agree 100%, Keith, and that's why I looked for him. And where's the? I think his
I'm going
book.
to tell you what I would recommend, Chuck, is go back into the 90s and watch hours of him playing on tables back in the 90s and the early 2000s and follow his career by watching him actually play like for an hour or two at a table.
That's a good
Um,
idea.
and because your opinion will evolve very quickly.
I'm not. I am not. Okay, I've known some incredibly intelligent people in my life, and he has to be because he's won so many. He's won more braces than everybody else.
Right.
You know that.
I agree. Yeah.
And people that are incredibly intelligent, a lot of times they have a spot in themselves that's phenomenally weak as well. You know what I'm saying? Which is
Mhm.
just life. I mean, rarely do you get the person who has it all. You know what I'm saying? Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, everything. They just don't. I mean, we're just human
Right.
beings. And when somebody has this huge skill, then a lot of times they have this huge drawback. And that to me, but when I started reading his book, how far did I get? I don't even. Let's see. I got the thing.
And
I
I
got.
would just say to you, back in the day, we didn't have social media back then. We only had TV, right?
Yeah.
So the only way he could get on TV is what?
make a
Cause
no,
a
hand,
no,
make a
ruckus.
tip.
I
If
get
you
it.
got,
They
yeah,
try. If you watched him, you'd never believe that he's done. But when you look at his records, it looks like when I looked at Arnold Schwarzenegger's record when he was a bodybuilder, it was ridiculous. It was like first, second, first, second. And it was like that. And when I looked at Hendon Mob under Phil Hellmuth, it was like first, or second. It was eighth. It was like, and these were large fields, and you're going, oh my gosh, this guy knows how to play tournament poker. I mean, on a level that is just pretty darn impressive. I mean,
Yeah, I
they
agree. He's
buy back
very
in and they do these
impressive.
other things. but you're fighting against a lot of other people that are pretty darn sharp as well. And this game depends on luck. I mean, it does. I mean, Chris Moneymaker showed that. We all know all this stuff and everything else, but it's just like, and he's played a ton of tournaments. I get all that,
I agree.
but
Yeah.
because Alex Fitzgerald, that was it. Because he basically at one point, and I think he went overboard on this. He said, "Well, like Helmuth is a horrible, in a relative sense, is not a good cash player." Okay, well, and then he also pointed out that Daniel Negreanu was, and I thought he went over the board on that because when Negreanu went out, and because they won tournaments, okay, whereas Phil Ivey has not won a major tournament, and so they're trying to use this as
Whoa. Phil Ivey hasn't done what now?
no.
That
No,
motherfucker's got
no.
9
He said the wrong
WSOP
name.
bracelets.
Sorry.
said the
Okay,
wrong
my
name.
apologies.
He
Then
said the
no.
wrong name.
I'm talking about what this guy said. I'm not. No.
Oh,
Phil
I
Ivey's
was
the
gonna sit there and
incredible
say
player.
he's got 9 WSOP bracelets.
Okay, fair
Phil
enough.
Ivey hasn't won a major tournament.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
I,
Ivy is one of the
I'm not.
tops.
I'm not. No. I'm. What I'm going is
He
like
won 2 in one day.
and knocks these guys, and it's and I like this Alex Fitzgerald, but when he went there, I was going, you're going a little bit overboard here. Okay, these people on cash games would rake, at such a high level. Now, when you get them to the highest level, maybe they have issues. I get it. What I'm saying, when you're playing with whoever the high level cash players are, but they all have certain characteristics. One of them that I
I
saw,
agree.
is they have a disregard for money. When Negreanu went out, which was 20 some years ago, he went out with $3,000. Now, $3,000 20 years ago, that's a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money, right? And he blew it. And the same thing with Helmuth. They went out and they have a certain gamble to them that they're willing to risk it all. Now, there's a huge number of people out there that are strewn across the highway that tried, similar things, but they didn't have the skill set. They didn't have they didn't study the game to the level of these people have and everything else. It's riddled with that. But, it's, as I said, he went too far. Keith, I wasn't, I'm not, I think,
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying it.
player. And when somebody starts, slamming him about, well, he's not a tournament player. Yeah. Like I said, I don't know his record. I just go, I don't buy that. They know how to adjust. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the tournament is a little bit of adjustment. It's like when I went over to cash, it was a very smooth transition. People go, oh, it's a totally different game. Yeah, it's kind of a different game, but you still know the rules. Okay. So you just adjust. If you can't adjust, you can't play poker.
The only difference in cash game versus tournament, there's an end to a tournament.
Right.
There can be no end to a cash game. A cash game can go on for infinity.
Right.
So therefore, I got a little bit more gamble in me when I play cash, but I'm still a tight son of a bitch. Okay. Where, somebody 3-bets me and I've got top 2 pair in a tournament.
Yeah.
I can let it go. In a cash game, that's a 4.
The thing I've noticed in cash games is, yes, but in cash games, when they get a lot of money in the pot, the risk becomes is I've seen huge pots with top pair or second pair and a reasonable kicker. And these people get into this testosterone hit or whatever the hell they want to call it. And they sit there, and I go, and trapping. Oh my gosh, you get into a trap. They never, some of these people, they don't, in a tournament, they see it. Cash game, I watch people, man, you get a set, and if you play it right, you still got to play it right. You can't be foolish about it. But if you play it right, some of these people, they don't have a clue that you have a set. I mean, it's just amazing to me where in a tournament,
I agree. That's what makes it different for me is that I can see it a lot easier because I only play tournaments.
well, the cash, I think,
I
is
watch these people. My good
right.
Lord.
You
What's
might
wrong
want to try it, Raquel, not to play much cash, but for me, because I'm, Keith, you and I are both very, I'm very tight, but I can sit there for an hour and total people totally ignore me and then wham, you know what I'm saying? Where the hell that come from? Because I've been waiting for that, you know what I'm saying, to happen right in the right situation and circumstance. And,
Mhm.
you know, it's patience in both of them, but the, you know, it's helped me when I played tournaments last week, and I'm interested in playing this week. Is like, how will I play? Because I immediately shifted over to tournament mentality. It's just that I was willing to take, you know, on some of these hands that I would let go before in tournaments that you can't because you don't have that many coming in, that I should have kept because it's only 3 times the big blind, you know, and it was, Jack Queen in late position, and I give it up, and I shouldn't be. Okay, is that now? I don't know. We'll see, you know, how I play tournaments. But yeah, if the cash can finance the tournaments and then you play the tournaments, you know, it kind of ends up becoming best of both worlds. So
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
that's what
I'll
most do.
play.
Most play cash to fund tournaments. That's what
yeah,
I do.
yeah,
Yeah, I play
That's my
cash to keep my bankroll built up,
right.
but
Mhm.
I play a tournament. I mean, you look at it this way: professional tournament players strive to cash 15% of the tournament.
Right.
No, I get
But
it.
they're not talking men cashing.
No,
Men
no, no,
cashing
no.
is
And
going broke.
that's where I needed to. I need to get out of the tournaments for a while because that's where I was going after too much. And decisions, that's another thing, which is so subtle. You know what I'm saying? Is those certain decisions that will put me into a much better place, you know what I'm saying, to get deeper in the tournaments so that I can cash, not a min cash. Because a min cash doesn't mean anything, especially when you're cashing 15 to 22, 22%. You're
I'm
not gonna
okay.
make
I'm definitely I wanna make the money, and then after that, then it will change. And
I
if I go out, I'm okay. At least I've cashed, I got my money back. Then you wanna go for the big prize, you know?
oh, I hear you, Raquel, and I agree with what you're saying. There's a subtle, and I'm talking about something so subtle. Okay, it's
Well,
like,
some people are like that. It's either first or nothing for
no,
them,
no, it's not. It's
you
not
know?
first. It's just, but there's decisions that I make that'll fold when, that would put me potentially deeper in the tournament when I'm getting towards the
Yeah,
cash. And it's a subtle decision. It's not right or wrong either way. But it's like, if you make these decisions, you're going to be cashing more, especially when you're talking 15 to 18%. And if you can cash deeper, like when I took down that tournament, I only paid $70. I can play several tournaments now for
yeah.
a couple $100
Yep, if
I mean,
it
no,
depending on the buy-in, I can agree with you there,
yeah.
you
So
know?
it's not wrong. It's not, like I said, it's subtle. It's a
Like
refinement.
$1,200 buy-in, I'm gonna fight to get to
Oh
that
yeah,
cash.
no, no,
I'm gonna fight, I'm gonna fold so many hands, and I possibly could have won the hand, but I'm still gonna fold it if I'm unsure.
yeah,
You know
no,
what I mean? I wanna fight, I want my money back. And
that
then after that, even like when we played in Texas, me and I was super tight, and probably almost 3 hours without playing a single hand
yeah,
just to make the money. Yeah, and I was like, and you're sitting there like this with your head like, and you're trying not to be bored and, fighting. But yeah, it was a fight to the end there.
no, absolutely, and I that's why I'm kind of want to go back to the $200 to $300 tournaments at
Mhm.
this point and
I
focus
agree.
on those, and then and work it from there. Because in the tournament series, I had a bunch of people. I was like, "You playing the tournaments?" And then after a while, people started getting it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he's moving into what he wants to do at this point. And and the cash has been helping me. And again, I've only played a couple tournaments now. I'm interested. I'm hoping to play on Saturday and then see how I play with that. Because when I've got in before, even when I haven't played the tournaments, I immediately snap into that. You know what I'm saying? You play different hands and different positions and things like this
Yeah,
than I would do with the cash. And
it does matter with the amount of buy-in. It really does. And for people like us, because we can do 3 times the amount of buy-ins
yeah.
versus some of those younger, newer players, $60 is a lot to them versus.
Well, sort of. Some of the newer play. I ran into a guy yesterday, and he was playing next to me, and I was watching, and I was almost cringing, at what he was, like he shoved all in a couple of times, this on a cash game. But then he starts, and I start explaining, and I'm usually talking to people and helping them in some ways, because then people confide in me. So I gain a lot of information. And plus the fact I love the game and I don't mind helping. So, but anyway, at one point he went over to one of the other games, but he was telling me he thought he could make a living at this. And part of me is going, oh my gosh, what am I, because I'm telling him, I'm giving him some basic information, but it's like he wants the magic pill. He wants me to give him a thing within 30 minutes or an hour that's going to tell him how to do it. It's like, it don't work like that, pal. I
No,
don't
it
go.
takes years to like
Oh
build
yeah.
up.
Oh yeah.
For me, I've only been doing it 4 years, so I still got a whole lot of more years coming. You know what I mean? That I've got to
Exactly.
put
No,
in.
exactly. It's
Right.
it's a process, and
Mhm.
you gotta do what the process works for you,
Well,
But
for
there
me
is
though, at the
some
same
new
time.
players that do enter the poker community that are just meant to be playing poker, and they're really good. And
Well,
it's
he
amazing
was
whenever
getting
you see 'em.
upset. Yeah. He told me he was getting upset with some of the players, and it's like, you do that, forget it. You
Yeah,
can't,
can
you know,
never be mad at the
don't
players,
judge.
ever.
Don't judge.
Yep,
You gotta.
ever. And that's what Ed and I, because Ed actually coaches me and he works with me. Like we do everyday study together. Every day we do hand reviews. We go over it, why we call it that way, why we three bet them, why we four bet them on certain hands. I mean, we do this every single day.
Yeah.
And Ed's just like, don't ever be mad at those players. You
Yeah.
know, you made the call. They did not take your chips and take them from your pile.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Well,
it's true.
I'm always updating, in my second
Yeah.
book. I haven't updated it yet, but one of the sections that I put in afterwards, that'll go into the next upgrade, and it's not that big of an upgrade, but it was basically observe, don't judge,
Yeah.
and
And that's
because
so true.
that I've, you know, uh, when you get out of that, it's just like
If
they're.
somebody cracked your aces and then your eyes are like, I'm taking you down, dude. You know?
Oh no, no. But if they play stupid cards, somebody
Right.
got 15 and they went 2-3 offsuit and they win a big hand, and I'm going, that's fine. You just told me, against somebody else, and I go, that's fine. That person told me they don't have no clue.
Right.
They just won that one, but how many
Oh,
times are they going to spend the $15 and they're gonna get hurt over the long run? And I know they
but
will.
I'm gonna be honest, okay? Now Sherry can vouch for this. When you're a female player, that holds true to the guys being pissed over the female doing it because they just cracked your aces.
Yeah.
So now they're pissed. Versus like Keith sitting in that seat. They wouldn't be half as mad at him versus me sitting there.
Well,
You'd be surprised.
no, I
It
no,
doesn't
no,
matter.
I got
I
it,
can
but I
tell
mean,
you
Well, it
this.
doesn't matter to you guys, okay? But I promise you, it
It
does
does
matter.
matter to some.
It does. It
no, no,
There
does.
no,
are
no, I
some
get
out
it.
there that do not
Mhm.
like to be beat by a woman, believe me.
No,
Right.
no, no. I'm,
Yeah.
I'm, I'm not arguing with any of that. I had one woman one day, and I
Especially a
lost.
blonde, you know, and
On the
they're
other.
just looking at you like, what just happened?
No, no, no. I know, and it actually feels good. It's like the guy today that when I after I beat him, it felt really, really good because he was, to
Yeah,
me, he was being a bit of a jerk, and it's like,
right.
okay, and when you can get him back, it's like,
Exactly.
it just feels good,
It
and not
does.
to
Yeah.
shove it in his face, but it feels good. I had a woman a while back, and I still remember this because she plays and she's fair, okay. I no, and sometimes she's really bad because she at one point, I do not fold my big blind. Oh, okay, just tell everybody. That's really good. That's really smart. So you say I make a larger bet when I've got a big hand. And sure enough, she was out of the turn. But one day I was playing and I was having that run. That you get once every couple months. And I was bang, bang, doubling up my stack. And she just started, it's not right. We need chips too. And, oh my gosh, in my ears, you got to be kidding me. I'm having a good time.
Some people will give
You're,
you a
you're
lot of
just raining
information,
all over
and
my
you're just
brain.
gonna sit there and listen.
What's
And
that?
Sherry and Keith know how quiet I am at the table.
Yeah.
I'm pretty quiet. Now, being differently at Keith's game, I was probably a lot more chatty.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, it's
Just
a home
It had a
game.
little to
it's
do with
fun.
this. It had a little to do with this.
I didn't drink there. I didn't drink anything.
Oh, maybe it
that
was this.
I didn't do that either.
Excuse me, out on the
Well,
porch.
wait, I did a one hit with him outside. That was it. One joke.
That's her
Only
story.
'cause I
She's sticking
promised
to
him.
it.
No, I didn't drink, but he was sitting there with the Jack. You want to drink? I'm like, no, man. No, I'm good.
I think what I'm getting at is the fact, there's jerks men and there's jerks women. You know what I'm saying? There's no question about it.
I agree. Yeah,
And it's just
I've
like
seen some
I
trashy women at the tables, and
I
yeah.
when I'm at the table and some guy swears, a lot of time I'll dress him down. You know what I'm saying? There's a lady at the table or something like that, and
Mhm.
it's just like that's the way I was brought up. And some of these, it's
Exactly.
luckily at the lodge everybody plays a lot, so they don't want a bad reputation. And my reputation's good enough. Is when I dress somebody down, a lot of times they listen. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not going to do it unless it's for the right reasons. I'm not being a jerk. I'm being,
But that's just
I want the
it,
game to be fun,
Chuck. Nowadays, like Sherry and I, we could sit down and be the only female in there, and we won't have to say a word. There'll be more guys that stand up and say, "Excuse me, that's not acceptable," and
Yeah.
that's just it. You don't have to say anything.
And they
They're
and
gonna
they
take
know
care
if
of it.
I'm saying and they know if I'm saying it,
Mhm.
heed the warnings
Right.
because I don't say things very often, but when I do,
Yep.
there's a very good damn reason I'm saying it.
And I
Yeah.
don't have to say anything. I can just sit at the table, and there's gonna be guys that jump right up and be like, "Do not talk like that. There's a lady here. It's
Right.
not
Right. And
acceptable." You
that's
know?
because you're acting like a lady, and there's good men in this world, and just like there's
Yeah.
bad men, and
There is. Yeah.
good men are, they don't, well, not, they do from you guys, but I mean, some people don't give them enough credit, and it's like all men are, bad before they're proven good bullshit,
I had a guy.
seriously, right? I mean, am I wrong about that? It's like, I don't
I
need to
never
prove my,
lump all men in or all women
no, no,
in
no.
one
I'm not talking about you guys.
category.
I'm
Yeah.
and I don't
Yeah.
I don't get it from other people too. And it's like you, Sherry. It's like I'm really super nice, but I know exactly where that line is, and somebody does, and it's just like that. They ain't going through, And all of a sudden they're like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, oh, and it's like,
I
no,
had a
you're an
guy.
asshole.
Okay.
I'm just
I
showing
was
you.
in this tournament. Okay. And the very first hand, it was a $320 buy-in, which is a little deep. It wasn't too bad. It was $320. Anyway, I got pocket kings
Yeah.
right on first hand. I'm like, okay. So of course you raise it up, and the other dude's looking at me. He raises me. So I call it. Flop comes Jack. I mean King, King, Ace.
No,
I'm like,
the check.
so of course you gotta keep the poker face, right?
Right,
Gotta
right,
keep
right,
it
right.
going. And he
So
it
you
comes
got
to
two pair,
me.
right?
I threw out a bet because I gotta do a continuation bet.
He's got a set.
He
She's got a set.
re-raised
Oh
me.
no, no. She said king, king. You
I
had
had
Yeah.
King, King in my
Yeah, and a
hand.
king on the
You had two
flop
pair of
means a
kings.
Two,
set.
two kings on the flop
right. So
too.
she had two pair, two
Oh, I
kings
thought
and
you
So
two
I have
said
kings.
four of
jack
a
and
kind. I have
ace.
four of a kind.
Okay, I
So I
thought you
do my
said
Oh no,
jack.
it's two
continuation
pair. It's
bet.
two pair. It's two pair.
He re-raised me. He goes, "No girl re-raises me," and I went all in. Okay, because right that attitude, I'm like all in. Like, you know what I mean? He calls me. Like, and when I flipped everybody goes, "Oh," like that.
That's right. That's right.
And he rivered an ace. He got four of a kind aces over my four kings.
And if you'd been playing cash, you'd have got the bad beat jackpot in a minute.
I know
Right.
that's right,
But,
Keith.
okay, so I just went like this, and I went, "Oh my god," like that. That's right, and he was like in my face, like he's across the table, and he's like all like his adrenaline went up the roof, and the dude goes, "Sit your ass down like that. Who do you
Oh
think
yeah.
you are?" Okay, and I said, "It's all good. Nice hand." He goes, "Damn right, it wasn't a good hand." And I mean, he was so cocky, he wasn't even polite about it. And I stood up. Three guys stood up. He says, "I'll rebuy her in," like that. And I went, "No, thank you." And Ed's standing behind me. He goes, "I got her." But I have four people stood up and they were like, "No, no, no, no." He says, "Why are you going to rebuy this trash back in?" is what he had said. Dude goes, "Because, dude, when she sees you on the final table, she's taking all those chips back. That's why we're rebuying her back in. And
See, that's
he
the thing, is that's the good man, okay?
So the whole time I'm on a new table and I get down, the dealer's like, just shake it off, baby. You're okay. Just shake it off and you got this. You're gonna take that tournament down. And I was like, that's just one sick bad beat. And I just looked at her. I said, everybody's like, well, we missed it. We don't know what happened. And she says, don't worry about it. It's happened. The girl needs to forget it. He says, she had a damn good hand. He says, sorry. I said, it's all good. I'm ready. Let's go. Let's do this. So I'm sitting there and you can see him over there. Anytime he'd get a hand, he'd be super loud about it. 10 minutes later, he was walking out the door.
Yep.
Everybody waved to him. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I said, and they looked at me and bust out laughing. I said, I wanted him back at the final. They said, I know you did, honey. They says, but I got all his chips for you. And I was like, good. But he was such a dick about it.
Well,
So
and those people
like,
pay, that's the
and I
thing.
was very polite about it. I was like, oh, very nice hand, right? Because
Oh,
that's the person I am.
He was just a jackass.
yeah, they don't.
That's
a lot
super
of times
lucky.
I've seen
Hey,
people like that,
is
you
our
don't laugh.
game done yet, or is it still going?
It is. It's over. Yeah.
Who won?
Rough Racer.
Oh, good job, y'all. Congratulations to Rough
Yeah.
Racer and Kobe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I got to get out of here, folks. So I gotta.
Are you going to the lodge? It's a little late.
No,
there,
no, no, no,
Jack.
no. I'm watching TV.
It is out the door.
I got a massage tomorrow at noon, so I might go in and play for a little bit. I didn't realize they have between 6 a.m. and 11 a.m. But really, for me, it's 9:30 to 11 is no charge for the tables.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Oh no, yeah, no house, no rental,
No rake, yeah, not rake.
right.
No, it's not a rake.
Nice.
Sorry. No, it's
no
no
rental,
rental.
no
Right,
rental.
and it was. I tried it, and it's the only trouble is once I get planned cash, it's so easy to go 4 hours. And
Oh yeah, for
it
sure.
really is. So I'm up this month, but I'm not up that much. But I'm yeah, again, I'm kind of
I'm
refining.
like
So much
way
fun.
down. I'm
What's
down.
that?
I said I'm down.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I'm
I was
working
up,
on the game. It's just because I'm trying different techniques that I'm studying.
right.
You know
And
what
then when I do that, it
I'm
just throws me
absolutely
for a
even
loop.
because I haven't played one hand of poker.
Oh, that was good. That's good to
There
be
you go.
even. Why? Ed's like, don't worry, it's coming. I'm like, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm just trying different scenarios right now.
On cash or in the game?
Tournaments. Tournaments.
Okay.
Now Ed is way up, of course. You guys saw that.
Ed is on a roll.
He always says, I'm pretty soon I'm gonna be done coaching you. And because I was on the phone with my sister, I said, well, I'm a little mouthy. And she goes, you little.
Okay. I gotta get going, folks.
All right,
I'll
Chuck.
see you later. Take care.
Have a
See you,
good
buddy.
night.
Yeah, you too.
It's so cute. But today is my sister's birthday. I did get your call. I was taking a nap. When I got up, I had
Oh,
like,
me. I was like,
yeah,
call. Oh, me.
I got a
Okay.
new phone. I'm like, my new phone. I'm like, the benefit of this phone, the other one was like very long. So this one fits in my pocket.
What is that one? What model is it?
It's a Moto. That's all I know. The hell I know,
Gotcha.
girl. Where in the hell do you know what kind of phone do you have? Like,
Well, mine is like the iPhone 12, which is a piece
oh,
of crap. Since the
oh,
first day.
that's what I used to have. That's what I did have.
Yeah, and I
This
need to go get
is,
it upgraded because they figured out it's a piece of crap. And so I can get a free update. But no, when you finally get a phone working, the last thing you want to do is get a new damn phone, right? And so
Yep.
right. I had it up like this, leaning it while I was putting clothes in the wash. I was on the phone with my sister and it went and fell. And I went, so I picked it up and I can hear her. Okay.
yeah,
And the screen was all screwed up. I'm like, shit. And it didn't crack or nothing. So I'm
thank
like, shit.
goodness.
So anyway, I finished what I was doing, got the floor mopped, and I can still hear the phone going. I was like, I thought she hung up. So I get on Facebook. I said, do me a favor, Ed's trying to call me. Can you message Ed and tell him, or call Ed and tell him my phone's broken. She's sure. I said, but it's no big deal. I'm at the house. And then all of a sudden, I'm like trying and pushing buttons, and here it's stuck on TikTok. I can hear a song playing. Okay, no lie. It's a "You Were Special." You know that song, "You Were Special," the slow version song? "You Were Special." Okay, so I'm like, "Oh my god." So I'm, like, trying to shut it off, and it won't shut off. An hour goes by, and it's still playing, "You Are Special," and I'm going so, anyway, I was like, "Alright." So I put my shoes on. I said, "We're gonna have to go get a new phone." So I go up to the guy, and I set it on the counter. He goes, "I'll be right with you." I said, "Okay." And he goes, "Broken?" I go, "Mhm." Like that, and he goes like this, and he gets real close to the phone. He goes, "You are special."
Oh
I said,
gosh.
"So special." Okay, so we start singing it. The old guy, the customer, he starts dancing to it. My face turns red, and he says, "What?" He says, "Oh, it's stuck on FM radio." I says, "No, I think it's stuck on TikTok. It's the same damn song over and over and over again." Okay, now I'm ready to put a pillow over top the phone. He goes,
Right?
"Oh my god." So all 5 of us at the Cricket store were all singing "You Are Special"
Oh my God.
over and over again. And he goes, "Oh my god." He goes, "This is so funny." So he gave me credit. I had credit because I have not changed phones in so long. I had $75 credit.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so he's like,
Good.
"This is what I can do for you. For 25 bucks, you can get this phone." I said, "Deal. Let's do it." So,
Hey,
really, I have no way. I paid 25 bucks for it and
awesome.
got a free case, free protector card, and by the tax, it was all over. It was like 120.
Not bad at all.
Yeah. So I'm like, "All right, we got the whole package deal." I'm like, it was good. But it was hilarious. But anyway, the kid that helped me, he plays poker and he's gonna join our games.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
awesome.
Yeah. So even though it was like crazy day, I still made a new friend.
I love it.
He's like, "I play poker." Oh my god.
Well, just call me tomorrow.
Okay, I will. I what do I do tomorrow? What's tomorrow? Nothing. I was going to the
Wednesday.
store to go get all the stuff for the party, but apparently we're not having no party. Wednesday, Sable goes to bed. Yeah, so tomorrow's Tuesday. So
No, today's
No, it
Tuesday.
is not.
oh,
Wednesday.
oh, Sable goes to bed tomorrow. Okay, shit.
Oh,
Oh,
lucky you.
alright. It's not that bad. Actually, it's so easy. The last time we were there, you get one of those little, like, chairs to sit in the little room, okay, and you guys see my dog.
Yeah,
She
she's huge.
yeah, she jumps on my lap, and she
Yeah,
sits there, and I'm like, "Baby, you can't sit on my lap." So I get out of the chair, and she jumps on the chair like, "They ain't taking me back there, Ma."
right?
I was like,
Heck
"They're taking you
no.
back there, baby." But she has to get shots and nails clipped, so it's good because they just harness her up, and they do it so fast, and it's
They
just
got
quick.
that down to a science.
They're fast. And then when she comes back, the worst part is putting her ass on a scale. She don't like it. I don't blame her.
It's a shame that when they have her in the harness that they can't weigh her at that point. That's
Yeah,
a
but I think it's just stabilizing her. Yeah,
right.
I mean, so she can't move. So they clip the
Well,
nails
I
real quick.
always seen the vets that they'll weigh themselves, write down that weight,
Yes.
and they'll
Yeah.
pick up the dog, stand on the scale.
Well, it's like a walk-on scale thing. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So now we just kind of push her like as easy as we can and just guard her so she can't move from that little area. We just kind of like nudge her in there.
Poor
And
Sable.
I know, and then I have to hold her. That's really the worst part is just putting her on that scale. You know why? Because it's like wobbly
Right.
with
Right.
her feet. Yeah, I mean it's like movable.
Right. It's not steady.
It's
Not
not like a
steady
solid
ground.
surface.
No.
So she's like, "No, thank you." But as far as her getting in the car and going, she's all for it.
Oh yeah, she loves to ride in your car.
She does. Well, I hope you feel better.
Thank you.
Try to get some sleep.
Need to get some answers so I can figure out
Mhm.
what the game plan is. I'm kind of tired of being stuck. You know what I mean? Like, let's figure out a plan of action.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know, whatever that is, let's figure it out because this is Ms.
Well, I'm
Tom
gonna tell
business.
you, when I got sick, I went through so many fucking doctor's appointments and so many different doctors. We had no answers. And then I'm just looking at Ed. I'm like, okay, so what do we do when we don't get answers? He's like, I don't know, baby. You know, and
Yeah.
it took the heart specialist to figure out that the hole was in my heart. And when he come in and told me when they wanted EKG, and I said, "What the hell for?" I said, "That ain't none of my symptoms." He goes, "You have every symptom." I said, "Really?" And he come back and he goes, "We," and then he pulled a chair up. He was like, and I was in, the bed. He's like, "We know what's wrong now, honey." I said, "Okay, explain." Now,
It's just nice to know. Like we
yeah,
figured it out
finally,
finally.
yeah, and
And we can
I'm not
now.
joking that I went to ear specialist. I've had cancer doctor test my blood to see if I had cancer through me. Like, why am I experiencing all of this? And why did I get a blood clot in my spleen? You know what I mean? Why? But, it was good to get those answers. And then when they wanted to close the hole, he's like, yeah, probably never happen again. I said, okay, so what's the chances of that? Is like slim to none. Is like very low chance that will ever happen again to you. I said, okay, well then we're not doing the surgery. Now, if he told me it was like 25% sure this is going to keep reoccurring to me, I'm ready. You know what I mean? If it's
Mhm.
never going to happen again, you're not. I don't want open heart surgery.
Yeah, you don't need to. Yeah,
I'm
that'd
like,
be
I've already
crazy.
spent so much time being sick that I don't wanna take 9 weeks of healing from open heart surgery. I just don't wanna do it. And I come home and I talk to Ed about it. I don't blame you. I'm like, "Baby," I said, "please don't be mad that I don't want the surgery." I said, "Now, if he told me this is gonna keep happening until we close it, then yeah."
Different time. Yeah, different situation.
And now maybe in 10 years, and if this recurs again, then I might look at that and be like, "Okay, it's time," you know?
Right. Right.
And
All
I think
right,
it was a
y'all.
good choice. Yeah.
Let's go to bed, y'all.